scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. How are you guys? What the fuck is good, everybody? It's your boy MJ. Y'all know what the deal is, man. If this is your first time tapping in, welcome. How are you? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that dislike button, drop a comment. Let me know how you're liking the guest. Let the guest know how you're liking the show. It's all about the guest. It really is. And it's all about all you great trappers, all you viewers out there. I see my early birds in the building. What is good? Oh my God, that dab just kind of got me right there, man. But you guys know what the deal is, man. With the freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep, coldbloodedcafe.com, please. www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and bestest, $30 flat rate shipping. I'm telling you right now, your snakes will thank you in the long run. Or any reptile of that. Anything that eats rodents is going to be happy that you're going through Cold Blooded Cafe. 100%. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to John. Sim Containers is the truth. If you got an egg, put them inside of a sim box. Thank me later. And they have some amazing monitor projects going on over at Sim Container. Highly suggest you go check them out on Instagram. And yeah, shout out to Alex. Shout out to John. Shout out to Ashley and Steven over at Focus Cube Habitats. I am so stoked over the new enclosure that I got for Mac Dre and Alice. They are stoked. They're loving life. It took a little bit for Alice to get adapted. I've heard plenty of stories of like monitors getting put into a bigger enclosure and their mentality kind of just snaps and fucking something happens. That sort of happened to Alice for like a few days. She wasn't eating, didn't want to come out of the cork bark or whatever the fuck. Just didn't want nothing to do with anything. It was kind of concerning. But I left for, I think it was Arlington, came back, and then right back to it, man. But yeah, she loves it, and Mac Dre loves it. So shout out to Ashley and Steven. Go give them a follow. I'm telling you right now, their enclosures are amazing, and they have some really cool stuff going on. And then shout out to Jesse and the whole entire Freedom Breeder crew. Thank you for sponsoring the trap, being super supportive, and not only just being so supportive, but just being an OG, triple OG when it comes to stainless steel racks. I'm telling you right now, you got a Freedom Breeder rack, either if it's breeding rats or snakes, professional level type shit. So shout out to you if you have a Freedom Breeder rack, and shout out to Jesse and the whole Freedom Breeder crew. And can we just give a round of applause to this guy right here? Always evolving pythons, hitting a fucking goddamn sunset clown. Very player, my man. Shout out to the homie Miguel Garcia. Thank you so much. Just for a lot of things. I mean, I don't know. Fuck, Miguel is just, he's always been a huge supporter of whatever it is that I'm doing in this industry, and that's pushed me to want to do more. But fuck, man, the guy just keeps bringing content that just shocks the entire hobby, and I love it. It's all great things. If you guys are new in this game, or you're just pretending you don't know who Miguel Garcia is, and you're like, who? Dude, knock it off. Go check him out. Always evolving pythons, always killing the game. And again, congrats to the big dog for hitting that sunset clown. That is heavy. I heard he's already getting offers around 70K on that snake, and he's hella passing on it. Damn, crazy. That's hella heavy moves in the ball python game. And then US Art, guys, please, let's go ahead and keep fighting and helping US ARC fight for our rights to fucking keep our animals, because nobody's going to take these animals away from us. Yeah, right. But it can happen. Let's go ahead and ensure that that's not going to happen to you. And, let's fucking help US ARC fight for animal rights. Damn it. Shouldn't be asking or begging people to do this. This should be automatic. You should automatically want to do this because it's for your animals. Shout out to anyone who attended the US ARC auction, man. The last few auctions I've been to, record-breaking numbers, which is awesome. Shout out to Phil. And then shout out to, obviously fucking Brian Potter and Bob Ashley for throwing such a sick-ass NARBC at Arlington. If you were at Texas and I missed you, I'm sorry. I will catch you next time, but that shit was fun as fuck. Guess what next week is? Yep, you're right. It's fucking Jeopardy season. I'm just kidding. No, it's 10 lead time, baby. I cannot wait. And then if you guys want to get a hold of me for any reason, man, it's so easy to get a hold of me on Instagram. I'm telling you right now, it's the best bet. So holler at me on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And if you want to stay on top of every single podcast and updates and Trap Clip Tuesdays and whatnot, you're going to want to go follow the Trap Talk with MJ podcast Instagram page as well. And yeah, man, I'm very active on Instagram. So shout out to all my Instagram followers. You guys are the shit. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers out there. If you're on Twitch checking me out, you're cool. Right on. Trying to get my Twitch viewers up. So I appreciate that. And then if you like to go ahead and donate anything towards the channel, if you want to support this channel more than a subscription, and you're like, fuck, man, MJ, man, just keep going, blah, blah, blah. Man, you can shoot me some money on PayPal if you like, or you can shoot whatever you want me to forward to US ARC to PayPal as well, because any super chats that's donated in Trap Talk with MJ podcast is here on YouTube gets forwarded to US ARC, every single cent. And I've been doing that since the beginning, and I'm going to keep on doing it. And I got to say, I fucking love my Patreon family so much. You guys are amazing. So I got to say that a lot of my big drive on why I want to come up with more ideas and take this podcast as far as I possibly can is because my Patreon members, they give me so much motivation. They give me so much pep and fucking like just readiness. So if you out there are looking to join a community, if you want to be a part of something where you can fucking just gain your knowledge and just learn and just kind of get tabs on what's happening and whatnot, go down to the link below, join the Trap Talk Patreon family, and you can thank me later. We get together every Sunday. We chop it up. And yeah, man, we're just a tight-knit group. Capone. But yeah, shout out to my Patreon members. You guys are amazing. You guys are my heart. You guys know what the deal is. And all that. What is good with the early birds? Oh my God, the early birds are cracking. I gotta say, my early birds really get me excited because the early birds kind of tell me, kind of determine where's this show gonna go. You know what I mean? And I don't really mean by the views, I just mean by the energy in the comments. And I can tell you right now, the comments are stacking. What up with the homie Nick over at Apex Mutations? What's cracking, homie? Calvin Garcia, the homie Little Frijoles, who's not so little. How you doing, homie? Jay Hendo. Those are two right there. Actually, three. 1, 2, 3 Patreon savages, 4 Patreon savages. What's up, Nate? The homie Nate up in the building. Eric's More Factory. Patreon. Wait, are you Patreon? I think you should go join, man. Come on, go join. What's good, Eric? Eric's More Factory in the building. Hannah Banana, Patreon savage all day, every day. What is good? She's flexing Texas all day. Tyler King, another Patreon homie all day. HP Reptiles. Damn, Patreon love all day. We have Wiz Constrictor up in the building. You know why my Patreon members here? Because they know we have a guest. I mean, I always have a guest that I bring to the table. It's heavy, but tonight's guest is super going to be fucking heavy and like next level ball python project type conversation. And that's why all my young savages are here right now. Scale Fins and Feathers, what is good? How you doing? Hissy Fits Reptiles, another Patreon savage. Jacob, what is good? He's part of the Trap Talk management. Not sure what he does but he is a part of the management team. And Jacob's he's a day one for sure. So shout out to the homie Jacob. Ball Morphix, what is good? My favorite second lily on earth. Here she is in the building. And we're going to end right here on Deviant Glass. What is good, Deviant Glass? I think I will smoke some flour out of your piece that my wife took. We'll get that later, man. But guys, all right. Very excited for tonight's guest. Want to know why? Because I go back with this guy from when I very first started, kind of putting myself out there, going to shows, basically traveling with Miguel and seeing who his friends were at these shows. Well, this guy is one of them. He's an original. He's fucking somebody who's super humble, super down to earth. Not really outspoken, but he's down to chop it up. And he's here. He's tapping in from the sticks, and he has some amazing ball python fucking projects that we're going to talk about. And it's my man right here, Dave Levine from Natural. Oh my God, how did I forget? Hold on.
Man.
Natural State
That's all right, brother.
I didn't want to fumble it. I was like, wait, shit. Natural State Exotics. What is good, homie? What is cracking?
You
How
know
you
it,
living,
man.
dude? How you living, bro?
Doing all right, brother. Doing all right. Just hanging in there, you know.
I'm so stoked you're here tonight, man. You know, this is long overdue. I think what was it when did we first meet? Was it in Detroit was when we first meet, or did we meet before that?
Yeah, you've known Barchek for a while, but you met Barchek in person the same night I met him in Detroit, whenever Tinley got canceled.
And everyone was hanging out at the fucking Reptarium, right?
Yeah, it was a hell of a weekend. It was better than Tinley probably could have been, man. It was a great weekend.
Man, dude, awesome shit. But anyways, man, I remember back then. It had to be the show after that because I remember it had to be at Arlington when I asked you, "Hey, let me get you on Trap Talk," and you're like, "Not yet." You told me not yet. You're like, I'm down. You're like, bro, I'm down, but just not yet. And now I kind of see why you meant that because you have some fucking heat that we're gonna talk about tonight that I can't wait to cover, man. But before we get all into that, bro, kind of introduce yourself to the people. Let them know how long you've kind of been involved with the keeping and breeding of ball pythons and whatnot.
So, David, Natural State Exotics. I live in Arkansas. That's what he calls the sticks. College town, Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I've been breeding snakes for only a short period of time. I started keeping in 2018. Started doing a lot of research in 2017, and watching videos and all that good stuff. And I kept snakes when I was a kid, and kind of dating, aging myself. I used to go to I grew up in Dallas, and I used to go to reptile shows in Texas when I was 15, 16 years old, and I'd buy snakes and post them in the classifieds in the newspaper and resell them. I was a flipper back when I was 15. So, back then it was really milk snakes, king snakes, things like that had all the cool colors. Ball pythons really weren't a thing. But yeah, so since 2018, really, since I got back in.
So I have to ask you, because you're not fucking, you're not like, it's not like you're 18, 19 years old. I'm not saying that you're 50 or 60, but I'm just saying, what was for guys, I always talk about what drove me into the ball python game, but for you, what was it that made you want to say, like, fuck, let me start researching this shit and how to, and then obviously one thing led to another, but what was the main push?
So whenever I was young, you had albino and pied, and that was pretty much it, And my daughter, she's 9 now, but she was watching Barchek videos, and the classic story. Everybody starts with Barchek, right? He gets a lot of people into the industry. But she was watching these videos, and I kind of was, looking over, and I'm like, well, what is that? And she's like, they're ball pythons, and I'm like, no, baby, those aren't ball pythons. Those are, I don't know what that is, but. And I started watching, and like, sure enough, there's all these new genes and morphs, and I was like, wow, it's kind of it was a trip because when I was young, it wasn't anything like that with the balls.
Yeah, what's crazy to me too is like, I always knew that there was snake people out there, but I didn't know it was to this capacity. Like, I didn't know it was this more like, I feel like the whole business mindset of owning snakes came from owning ball pythons. Because I didn't see it with like Burmeses and big, really, there was more the rare shit. Like, who's gonna want stuff like that? And that was kind of my first draw to snakes is I want stuff that people are like, you're too crazy to have that, But now it's more into like it's more of the conquering the fear where like, snakes aren't slimy. Snakes aren't a lot of things that people think they are, and that's kind of getting them to, even wanting to own a snake more than a dog nowadays. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I've had plenty of people that come here that can't stand snakes that look at some and they're like, okay, I can appreciate that. That's a really cool looking snake. Like, some of them are just really cool looking, even the people that can't stand them, they can't deny the art of it,
Right. So, okay. So I got to tell you, I got to ask you, so 2017, what do you do for a living? If you don't mind, like, what do you do for work?
So I've got a few different streams of income. I own a car lot, a used car lot around here. Been doing that most of my life since I was about 20. And
so you've always had a car.
Yeah. Always had a car to drive for sure. Been doing that for most of my life. I have a U-Haul business. I do that, and of course I do snakes now too. And we're looking at possibly building a self-storage facility here soon. So just several different things, entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, at
Hmm.
the end of the day, I mean, people got to understand, like, nobody's making you just have a 9 to 5 job. Not to say that 9 to 5 isn't a lot, but you have to do more, if you want more. I mean, it's just kind of what it comes down to. Um, I've kind of learned to where, especially the last kind of industry I was in before I started just doing what I'm doing now full time, was like, working in the gym industry was kind of like, I picked up after people, like that's what I had to do, like every day, pick up after fucking people, and after a while, like, I went from somebody who wrote my own check, selling whatever I wanted, and to like literally like now having to have an establishment and, act like it's my house. I have to treat it like, you kind of learn that's kind of what made me teach me like the whole, like learn to love the grunt work. Like if you learn to love the hard work of whatever it is that you're doing, everything else just becomes easy. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Gotta love the grind.
gotta love the grind for sure.
Yep. Mhm.
So, okay. So let me ask you this, man. So 2017, I mean, how serious were you looking at, like, okay, so when it came into you buying snakes, like how heavy did you go right off the go? Like, were you kind of just getting stuff like in the kind of like mediocre range, or were you like going in high in investments and like doing busting some Miguel and JP type shit?
So it kind of depends on what you call high end. The first two snakes I bought, I did a lot of research and looked at all the different genes. Fell in love in the very very beginning with the Dreamsicle project. I thought it was really
Right.
cool. Super orange and the pied. Just awesome looking animals. So my first two snakes I bought from Justin Cabelka, and I
Nice.
bought a pastel pied het lav and a yellow belly lav het pied, and that was actually my first clutch I ever hatched was last year from those two animals. Didn't hit a dreamsicle, unfortunately, but I think I paid like, I don't even know, I don't even remember. It was a little over $2,000, I think, for the pair. And originally my plan was to really just get a couple animals and just play with it and breed. And I kept snakes when I was a kid, so I was interested in them. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, I'm just gonna try and breed a couple, and then I bought like my next group was probably 4 or 5 females from Justin, and I bought some from Miguel, and yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there.
So what made you have the confidence to buy a snake from Justin Cabelka or like Miguel? Because like, obviously you're not spending, Walmart prices, you're really spending some good money because the snakes you're buying, right? But not everyone
Mm,
really gets that in the beginning, especially me. In the beginning, I was looking for the cheapest way to any snake possible because I just didn't know better. But like it
yeah.
seemed to me like you kind of already knew you wanted the best of the best. So like what was that like? What coached you behind that, or like what helped you kind of give you that mentality?
You know, yeah, I'm not really sure. I think $2,500. I was looking at what a dreamsicle could sell for. They were at the time. This was what 4 years ago. They were $3,500, and I'm
Right.
like, well, if I could hit one, I could get my money back on it. But I really wasn't too concerned about the money. It was just kind of just something to do. And to me at the time, 2,500 wasn't a lot of money. 2,500 wasn't. It was just something to do. My wife was like, hey, you need to do something for yourself. All you do is work and take care of the kiddos, and you should do something for yourself. So she was all for it. I bought a small TGR rack back when TGR was in business, and
Right.
yeah, I filled it up too quick and had to buy I bought an ARS rack originally, but yeah, I'm Freedom Breeder all the way now. I love Freedom Breeder stuff. So.
Yeah, Freedom Breeder is the way to go. I just got done talking to Jesse, and like, man, I had plans already earlier to get some like this year, but there was just something with the whole waiting, like, and I know it's nothing against him. Like he just you can't do nothing. Like you got to wait those 24
Yeah,
to 30 some odd weeks. You know what I mean?
man, it's hard.
It's hard, but honestly, I'm sure it's worth it right when they touch down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that day's about to happen. I'm telling you, it's a good sponsor. I gotta have Freedom Breeder. The Home Depot racks has got to go for me, and this is the last
yeah.
season I'll be breeding in those. But okay, so the initial project that you were like, hey, I'll pay 2,500 or whatever the fuck for this because it was more of a that was more of a like a self thing. It wasn't really more of the money. You literally wanted to make that snake like that.
Yeah.
It was about that snake. But
Mhm.
obviously you have a lot more going on than just that, right? So what kind of like made you want to venture off? Like, because it takes time. You want to make that snake. Shit, you got it in what, 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
No, yeah, I bought them in June of 2018 was when my first snake I ever bought.
about
For Cisco round.
and here we are 3 years later, right? So,
Mhm.
but 3 years later, you're making that snake you're making. Plus, how many other clutches?
My first season I did was last year. I did 4 clutches only, and then
Okay.
this year I've got 1 more clutch to lay, and I'll end up with 19.
You son of a bitch! That's not bad at all. That is really good.
Yeah, I got kind of more than I thought, to be honest with you. I was hoping maybe double or even triple, but 19 is quite a few for me, anyways.
So, Dave, here's the thing. Okay, now we're talking from a mentality of like, well, hey, listen, I invested into the original project because I want to make this snake. But now we're talking about 19 other clutches that you have going on. So, I mean, in 2018, you were investing in more than just one project.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. In 2018, I started kind of, buying a lot of different clown stuff, and 2019, do what?
DG stuff too, right? You're buying
Yeah,
DG shit.
that's 2019 is when I really started buying into the DG Clown project. I already had a lot of clown stuff, so I figured, it would be a good add to DG. I seen a DG Clown, and I was like, man, I want to make combos of, everything DG Clown. Anything you can do DG Clown. I don't think that there's a bad DG Clown combo or DG anything really, for that
There's
matter.
definitely not enough of them. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So 2019 is where I really bought most of my animals, and I kind of started getting quite a few. I mean, I don't have a ton of animals. I have probably adults. I would say close to like 90, 95, with about a quarter of those being males. So, I took heed to the warnings of a lot of YouTube videos where, they said, don't get male heavy, buy females, grow them up. And, I took notice of that and really focused on buying a bunch of females. I kind of wish I would have bought a few more males in the beginning, to be honest,
Right. You said you kind of wish you would have bought more males in the beginning?
Yeah, well, not in the beginning, but come time to start breeding these females that were getting to size, I wish I had maybe about 5 or 10 more males, different stuff to maybe mix up some of the pairings I did. But I can't complain. I've made some pretty cool stuff this year.
So by meaning you wish you had more males, you mean you had more diverse shit to throw to females versus the male. You're probably using the same male for some of the same females. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
right?
Instead of running one male to 4 or 5 females, I would rather had a male for 2 or 3 females.
Right.
Just to throw a little bit more diversity in there. But some of the males I had were pretty solid, so I'm not complaining. So.
Okay, so I mean, as far as your taste of projects go, I mean, obviously you're not fucking around here, in which we're gonna start looking at some of your 2021 productions. But I mean, what was kind of influencing you to getting into like these specific projects? Like, I mean, like who was putting DG stuff out there that you were looking at that kind of made you draw like you're like, holy shit, like if you recall anyone back in 2018 or when you were like researching this shit?
Well, there hasn't been a ton of DG Clown stuff made. Like, there's only we're kind of hitting the drop in the bucket as far as DG Clown goes. And you've seen the DG Clown, the pastel DG Clown, and just the color of them is just so awesome, and they age so well. Like, I just knew that was a project I wanted to get in, and I wanted to start making combos of that, So,
Right.
But a lot of people are doing phenomenal things with the DG Clown project. Will, Moros, right. Justin, several people are, and those people I've definitely kept an eye on, see what they're making,
How many of these did you hit this year?
How many what?
How many of these did you hit this year?
Jesus. So far, I've hit 2 DG Clowns. That's a pastel vanilla DG Clown. I picked the female up from that animal from Andre at Capital Reptiles. It's a pastel vanilla clown het DG. So basically the same animal without DG is what I bought from him. And that animal also DG. Yeah, yeah, it's 50% hit hypo too. That one is, but that's a great animal right there. The the spot nose DG clown, I kind of like it a little bit better, even though it doesn't have quite as many genes, just because of the contrast, you know. But man, can't go wrong getting something like that. I was pretty stoked. She's in shed, or he's in shed right now.
Is the other DG clown on your page? Did you post it?
Yeah, yeah, it's the one I took a picture of outside. You scroll down right there on
Oh,
the right.
right. Oh, yeah. Duh. This is it right here. Yeah. This thing is
Yeah,
fucking badass, bro.
that one's sick. I wish it was a male. It ended up being a female, but the pastel vanilla DG clown's a male, so I'm pretty stoked. I
Are
got a
you keeping
male
both of
and
them
a
back?
female. You know, as of right now, yeah, I've had
Oh,
several
yeah.
people hit me up. I've got another couple of clutches that I gotta wait and see, you know, at the end of the season what all I hit and then kind of gauge. But yeah, right now it's a holdback. So
That's a big flex right there, bro. Man,
man,
that's a dreamy snake to make someday.
that animal right there was it really is the first, like, you know, I guess, you know, I'm not the type of person to pat myself on the back, but the first really heavy hitter snake that I hit, you know, I was pretty stoked to hit that thing. It was pretty crazy.
How many clutches do you have left as far as the rest of the season go? Are you done? Are you done with your clutches?
I've got probably 9, I think 8, and I got one more delay, and I think I got 8 more clutches in the incubator. So in the DG Clown project, I've only got 2 more clutches though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, other than the DG stuff, like I know we were just looking at this snake here, but this most recent post here, I want to kind of talk about the like, you know, it's like what dark night, like what's going on? Like, can you kind of explain what's going on with these clowns right now? Because I need to be schooled for sure.
Yeah, the one on the bottom. So Justin put a video out, I don't know how long ago, that chocolate and spot nose are allelic. In other words, kind of like a highway, right? You got gravel and yellow belly, and when you breed a gravel or a highway to a normal, all you can hit is gravel or yellow belly. You can't hit a normal. Same thing with chocolate and spot nose. So those are visual clowns that carry the chocolate spot nose gene. So the one on the top is a pastel, and Justin dubbed it Dark Knight. So it's a pastel Dark Knight, which is a pastel chocolate spot nose clown. And then the one at the bottom is a chocolate spot nose clown. I don't think they have yellow belly. It was a possibility in the pairing, but I don't think either one of them do. So, but yeah, you know, you breed those to a normal clown, you hit either chocolate clowns or spot nose clowns, no normals. It's kind of a cool animal to have.
I mean, from your knowledge, what do you feel like yellow belly would do to one of these animals? Is it going to brighten it up? You feel like
it would have made the flaming quite a bit more on the sides, and
like,
you know, overall a little bit stronger color definition, I think.
right?
But
More of a
very
pop, probably.
yeah, very similar animal still. In the video Justin made, he talked about the original Dark Knight. He thought had yellow belly and even possibility of red stripe, and he bred it and proved it out to really just be a chocolate spot nose clown. So no yellow belly, which I think that's kind of what I'm dealing with here. So, you know, you always want them to be more than what they are, but they are what they are. So I try and tone down my my process of what I think they are, you know.
I think that's the best bet, bro. Like, honestly, like, even when you try to tone it down, you're still like kind of like favoring yourself all the time. You know what I mean? Like
100%, bro.
Because you're just being positive, like, bless your heart, you know, you waited this long. But like sometimes, you know, especially after a couple sheds too, man, I'll tell you, the whole hypo thing really fucks with you after a while, because like if you're kind of shooting for hypo and you know, you got one that just has a really crazy heavy het influence, and it really shows like that first fucking glimpse into the egg, you know, it just, yeah, it's, you're better off just kind of underestimating, you know, and just kind of like almost doubting yourself, to where after a few sheds, you're just kind of just like, you know, and all right, okay, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I had, when I was in Arlington, I was talking to Justin. He was like, you know, you have in your head so much that you want to hit a certain animal that you can almost make yourself believe that you hit what you really, really wanted to, even if you really have the gut feeling that you didn't. And, you know, I took heed to that. You know, it's true, because, like, you know, you're like, man, I know that's what this is, but in actuality, it's probably not. You know, if you have that gut feeling that it may not be, it's probably not. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the gut wrenching thing about this hobby. Like, there's so many ups, and like, you know, hey, dude, creating anything, you know, that looks sick is a cool thing, you know. But like,
Yeah.
there's this certain, like, I think Miguel posted something on his story. Is like, you know, like, do you ever have that moment where like you're the odds just destroy your hopes and dreams, and you're just like, God fucking damn it, like, you know, like, you got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
And you know, let me ask you this: what do you feel like one gene is like the dangerous gene to play with a lot of your projects? Do you feel like it's yellow belly, or do you have any genes that you're kind of just like, fuck, like the one gene that's almost so hard to ID sometimes, and it almost fucks it all up for the other snakes that you produced and whatnot?
Yeah, you know, yellow belly is a hard gene for me, anyways, to ID. I mean, I'm what people would call a noob. You know, I'm just
Right.
my second season breeding, and
Respect.
yellow belly would be a hard gene to. But you know, you always got to lean on your people. You know, everyone knows someone knows more than they do. I mean, there's always somebody that knows more than you, and you know, I try and lean on people to help me figure it out. You know, but yellow belly is definitely one of those genes. But you know, it's kind of funny because even last year, like with that pastel pied het lab to the yellow belly lab het pied, I didn't hit a dreamsicle, but you would think you got pastel yellow belly and then you got two recessive genes, pied and lavender. It'd be
Right.
easy to ID. And I'm like, man, I don't know if this one is a yellow belly or not. And just my first clutch of my ever breeding snakes, you know, it's kind of like, it kind of brought me down. And I was like, this is a little harder to ID stuff than you really think, you know. And I mean, especially when it comes to me selling snakes, I would rather downplay and sell them as less than what they are than more than what they are. So, you know,
Right.
I would never want to sell someone short. You know what I'm saying? So
So
kind of
what? Go
okay.
ahead. You can't.
I was
No,
gonna
were
say
you gonna,
kind of a funny story on that. Those
yeah,
two
say
dark
it.
nights last year, that female actually bred for me. So I did four clutches last year. Only one female went the next year, but that it was a pastel chocolate head clown. I bred her to a pastel spot nose yellow belly clown, and it was a visual to a head. And I had 7 eggs, not a single clown. So I started to wonder if she was even a het clown. And then this year I hit two dark nights in the clutch. So I did the exact same pairing 2 years in a row I wanted to prove her out, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I was pretty stoked, you know. I was like, well, okay, she's het then. I knew she
Yeah,
was. The person I bought her from Justin. I'm like, there's no doubt that Justin's legit
dude.
on what he said, you know.
Oh my, that's one thing. It's kind of like, man, it's like if you're gonna gamble on anybody, gamble on somebody like Justin, and you're gonna be more than happy. Like, and it's like almost to where like even if you don't hit a het, you'll hit something else. Like, I don't know, it's
Yeah.
it's a snake from Justin. Like, I mean, I don't know. You get what you pay for, and that saying never lives stronger how it sounds when you pick up a snake from somebody like Justin.
Oh yeah,
Which is so
100%.
sick. So let me ask you this, man, because like, dude, you've I'm not gonna say you've came into this game overly strong, but you did come in pretty quick. Like you knew what you wanted, you put in your time. 2-3 years later, boom, you're already posting it. You're already coming out with DG clown combos and shit like that, which is awesome. But like, what were some of the trial and errors type things that you had to learn in the beginning? Like, did you have any, like, let's just say incubation failures, or like, did you have any problems getting hatchlings to get established? Like, did you run into any of those things in the beginning that kind of like made you kind of put you in your tracks and made you slow down a little bit?
You know, man,
Or was it just been super easy as fuck?
it's honestly, it's been
You can be honest. I mean,
pretty smooth sailing. You know,
yeah.
Anymore, there's just so much information out there that like any issue you can run across, that you can find the information on it and resolve it. You know, I haven't really had a ton of issues really. I mean, I've had a few things where I don't know if you know Tom Harbin.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
He's pretty big in monarch and stuff like that, but he's a veterinarian as well. So I've leaned on him a few times for information on. I'm like, hey, my snake's doing this. Yeah.
That Tom guy is really heavy as far as mentorship down in the South, right? Like, I mean, he's like a lot of go-to for a lot of people, like from what I've heard from people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and Will's dad's a veterinarian, and Will's been doing it a long time. I always lean on Will. He helps me out. You know, if I have a question, typically it's me asking a question. He's like, bro, chill the fuck out. Everything's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, that's typically
Yeah.
what the answer is. You're freaking out over nothing, you know. So
Yeah, definitely.
they're pretty hardy snakes.
Yeah, I mean, they really are.
Hmm.
But even with the hatchlings, huh? Hatchlings. I mean, what's your rate? What's your like your go to when establishing your hatchlings, like when they first come out and whatnot, and you're offering them a meal?
So typically, whenever they come out of the egg, I put them in a tub all together till they shed out. I've been putting them on
Right.
Reptile. You know, I use Reptile in my facility. I've been putting them on Reptile. I started putting them on paper towels actually this year, and the reason being, I've seen a video where I think Miguel and Justin did like a how-to video or some crap like that, but they were talking about it gives you something you can change if they don't eat. You can switch them from paper towel to Reptile, and it might, anytime you've probably experienced this before. If you move a snake from one tub to another, if it's not eating, sometimes it'll start eating. Same kind of deal. Move it from paper towel to Reptile, maybe it'll start eating better. But I've been starting them on on paper towel, and I breed all my own rodents, so I usually go for either an ASF pup or a mouse pup to start them, and I'm batting probably 95, 98%, pretty much all of the meat. I've got a few I've assist fed. The spot nose desert ghost clown out of the whole clutch, that's the one that didn't eat the first time I tried. Of course, it had to be that one. And
Dude, right?
yeah,
The one snake, you're like the one that you're just hoping that just could just hurry up and start smashing and just picking things up
just
on. It's like
hammering food. Yeah, yeah.
how long did
But
so what do you good?
she's eating now though. I mean, she's good. Yeah, she's solid.
How long do you typically wait until you have to assist feed or until you have to you go down that route?
So I usually attempt 4 times. I'll do twice a week for the first 2 weeks. So the third week is when I'll assist feed. And it kind of depends on the animal too.
Right.
How interested they are. Some of them that you can tell they're real close to eating. Like I'll give them another chance, but I really try and avoid assist feeding if I can. I
Right.
just there's something about just shoving the rat in the mouth of the snake. I can't stand it. I feel like I'm hurting the snake, and I just
It's
don't
brutal.
like it. It's brutal, man.
Dude, and ball python is one thing, man. Try a little fucking newborn green tree python that's like half of the size of a damn fucking wet noodle. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's crazy. Like it's but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get the snake going or living, and
Yep.
it can get heavy sometimes, man. This game ain't for everybody, I'll tell you that much. But sometimes you just gotta do some shit, that you gotta just roll the sleeves up.
Yep. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's something I don't enjoy for sure. I'd prefer them all to eat perfectly.
Yeah. So how many clutches you've had? 19 clutches so far this year, right?
18 and 1 to come. Matter of fact, she's due today. I haven't checked her this afternoon, but yeah, she's due today. So it'll be my last clutch for the season.
And what's that pairing, if you don't mind me asking?
The last one I have is a super gravel to a pastel, and it's gravel / yellow belly pied. So I'm trying to prove her out either gravel or yellow belly, and make some, maybe highway het pieds or super gravel het pieds.
Nice.
So the one right before that, I'm pretty stoked about. It's a banana double het sunset clown female maker to a spot nose double het sunset clown. So
whoa! So you're going for sunsets this year?
Hopefully some sunset clowns, yeah.
Sunset clowns. Whoa! I didn't even process that. Sunset clowns. Whoa! What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. It's a like I said, banana double het sunset clown female maker. So anything banana will be a female to a spot nose double het. And both those animals came from who. The homie
Hold on, Dave. Time out. We're about to be talking. We're next level projects. Before we do any of that, I need to check something real quick because I'm not gonna have any kind of disrespect happen on this episode with my man Dave Levine. Okay, let me see. Okay, hold on. All right, yeah, 42 likes. I'm not feeling that, man. We're gonna need to get these likes up for my man Dave. My man Dave's about to spit some sick shit. Okay, and he definitely deserves a lot more than 42 likes. We had 70 people tapping in at one point. Let's get these likes up right now or at the hour mark. If we're not at least 60 likes, I'm taking this shit to Patreon page for the real ones. let's continue what we were talking about. Double het sunset clowns. Continue. Please, let's continue.
So the male is a banana double het sunset clown, and the female is spot nose double het. So that's my only shot at sunset clowns this year. It's my only pairing I have going on in that one. So hopefully next year I'll have a few more pairings in that project. But yeah, you know, it's a long shot, double het to double het, but I've got a few codoms in there, so it's kind of cool.
People smash those odds all the time. It's definitely doable.
You never know.
So let's go back to what we were gonna talk about before I had to check people about fucking getting the likes up, which is ridiculous. Who did you get these snakes from? Let's talk about who you picked these snakes up from.
From both of them, actually, the male and the female are AEP snakes. So
wow,
it took a arm twisting to get him. That's for damn sure. You know, he didn't want to let him go, but we talked about him for a while, and so you know he had to let some of them go.
Oh my God, that is so heavy. But these snakes obviously are already ready to breed. So this is a conversation you guys had a couple years back, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
So the female is. I mean, this is the
level. This is another level.
The female is like she was borderline close to breeding, like maybe wait till next year type thing. She only gave me 5 eggs. She was kind of small, but she was ready. I have an ultrasound, so I ultrasounded her. She was building, and hell, I took the opportunity to breed her. So
Man, you have the opportunity to be smashing something major. I can't wait. I mean, at some point. So this sunset project, man. I mean, god damn, that just like on top of everything else we're talking about, you have rolling the dice here with sunsets. Now let's talk about the sunset project, because sunset, obviously, like the price, right? Like I remember seeing a sunset priced at like $30K. It was like a sunset Enchi or something, 2019 or so, $30K. Now they're like kind of more in the 5K, 10K range, right?
For a visual single gene sunset, yeah.
Right. So what's your opinion on the value, on the market value on those? Do you feel like they're going to hold their ground for a while? Do you feel at some point it's going to be more of an affordable project, like pretty quickly, like how some other projects eventually end up happening with?
I think sunset's going to stay solid. I think it's going to stay strong. It's a recessive gene, and that's kind of what I try and put my focus on, is recessive, because for that particular reason they're hard to hit. You got to have both parents carry the genetics, and especially sunset clown. We're so far at barely scraping the surface of what sunset clowns can do, and there's so many other things to go with sunset. You got desert ghost sunset, no one's done. You got puzzle sunset, no one's done. I mean, there's so much stuff to do with sunset. So I'd advise people to get into the sunset project. I think it's a sure bet. There's just so much to be done. There's just barely scraping the surface. So I like that.
I mean, it's kind of like it's nuts, because gravel's almost that genetic that like it doesn't hurt. Like you put that shit in some combos and you're like, damn, that thing has gravel in it, and like especially when you go super gravel, right? But like if you think of a gene like sunset, even though it's a recessive, like you put a sunset to anything and you really see the true value of a sunset. And there's certain combos that would really like kind of like, if anything, bring that market value back up for a sunset, like from what I've seen, like it's pretty crazy. What would you say? You don't have to tell us too much, but like what route are you trying to take the sunset project? Like, let's say you hit a sunset, like sunset clown, like let's say you hit sunset clowns in this project. What would you do? Obviously you hold back one, but what would you want to take that project in your, immensely, if you could tell us?
I've been kind of considering that, because I've hit some double visuals this year. I hit the DG clowns. I've hit some hypo puzzle stuff, and I've been kind of considering that, like, which direction do I want to go? Do I want to continue with just the double visual recessive and hit some codoms, or do I think I might go the quad hets, like breed a double visual to a double visual of 4 totally different recessive genes and make some quad het combos. And I think that may be where I want to go, because the industry, in my opinion, double visual is awesome. Everyone wants to hit the double visual, but the triple and even the quad, which is just so far out there. You know, it's something you want to hit, but you know, it's hard to hit, obviously.
I
But
have some. I have somebody who wants to hit something, and I don't think it's a project. I think it's your face.
oh man, hey, if it's $49.99 the U.S. ARC, I don't give a shit what he says.
Oh my
That's my
god,
homie.
dude, you have some crazy homies in the building. You got Miguel in the building. You got the homie fucking RCR, Will Moros in the building, and then you have fucking 514. You have Khalil in the building. You have some real dogs in the building, man.
See, I can't see the comments. All I see is the ones you post up.
You can actually see it. Like if you go to your phone, go to your settings. You'll see like a gear. See that gear settings.
Let me see. Let me turn it this way.
If you want to look at the comments, sometimes.
No, I do. I do.
All right. Shout out to Miguel for being here. You're a real one. Thank you, doggy. Shout out to the $49.99 US ARC all day, every day.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So you see all these comments going on right here, man.
He don't really want to fight though. I promise.
Dude, I don't know, man.
You can ask him. He'll tell you.
Miguel's the biggest lover I've ever met. But I mean, at the end of the day, he has a crazy right hook. You seen him hit that machine, that punching bag.
Man, I did see that. It was pretty solid.
Since we have Miguel in the building, let's talk about how you met Miguel, because like I meeting Miguel was very inspiring to me. Like I take that story to my grave, and I always continue to like stay inspired. But what is it? Or excuse me, when was it that you met Miguel? Like how did that relationship spark, and how did that start?
So, you know, honestly, it started, I met Miguel just buying a snake from him, really. It was I think it was a spot-nosed clown, just a spot-nosed clown female. And, you know, we chatted a little bit, and I mean, of course, I bought several snakes from him over the years, but the first time we met was at a Tinley, and you know, I don't even know how it kind of came about, but he was going to another reptile show in that Chicago area, and I forget what the name of it is. I wish I knew it. I feel like it's
in Chicago. Another show in Chicago,
and it's like an all animal expo. Like they had all kinds of different animals there. But anyways, the guy that was putting the show on had grizzly bears there. And so Miguel was like, hey, you want to come in the morning? We're going to go hold some grizzly bears. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I'm going to hold some grizzly bears, you know. That's badass. So
wow.
I called him the next morning. I'm like, are you guys leaving? He's like, yeah, come on down. So we went to that expo, and we held some grizzly bears. We kind of, you know, Miguel, he got backstage, you know, kind of access to the bears. And, you know, it was really cool. So. Yeah. I mean, it was awesome, man. You know, how many times in your life can you say you got to hold a grizzly bear? You know, they were pups, but still, I mean, too cool.
But to think where they came from, they didn't come from no damn pup. They came from a goddamn monstrous fucking
beast,
bro. Like, oh man, that's definitely like a heavy goal of mine to hold a bear, tiger, and a lion. Like, just hug one. I just want to hug one before I die.
It was cool. It was bucket list type thing, man. I mean, like, it was insane.
Yeah, I thought that was a part of the NARBC. So when that was going down, that was a separate event going down in Chicago, like another animal event.
It was a whole different show, like an hour away. Man,
shit.
I wish I could remember the name of it. You know, it was a whole different show though. Somebody was friends with Barcheck. And Barcheck was supposed to be there that day, I think, but he wasn't able to make it for some reason. But yeah, it was. I went there. You know, Harrison, Royal Canvas Exotics.
Harry. Yeah,
he was there, and Miguel and Carrie and Barros were there. KB Reptiles.
KB.
And you know, a few other people were there. But yeah, that was a cool deal, man. I really enjoyed getting to just be around those animals too, and hang out with all those people. You know. That was my first introduction to those people, though, you know.
Yeah, that initial moment, you guys all linked up, and you guys kind of carried that to the next few shows, and you guys were all hanging out. And that's because that's when I met you. I remember, you know, meeting you a part of the group, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, this is a pretty cool squad, you know? And honestly, man, you guys all make the shows even that much better. It's such a great time just to, you know, just see faces that you're familiar with, but actually being like, you know, not that I'm not friends with people I say hi to at shows who follow me, but like we're homies. You know what I mean? So like
Oh yeah.
to see a friend, you know, and you could just like, you know, go smoke or just do whatever you want. You know, if I can go to strip clubs with Miguel, even though I don't do that, babe, not into it. Just saying, not into it. Really not. Not really.
You know,
You know, I'm not. I'm not into it.
I know. You know, 100%. It makes the show though. You know, I've been to a show where none of the homies showed up. Like I think I went to the very first St. Louis show they had, like the very first one,
Right.
and like, you know, there were some people there I hung out with, and I ain't trying to take anything away from, you know, any of the people I hung out. We had a good time, but it wasn't the same without my crew. You know, like all the people there. You know, so
Right.
it definitely makes it for a better show, no doubt.
And you know, nothing against Miguel or anything. We know he's busy, he's grinding, does his things. But man, he's definitely been missed the last couple shows. I missed him at Arlington, missed him at Anaheim, and it goes along with the other few heads. You know, we don't have our Canadian homies at the shows right now. You know, we're definitely. I would love to see Will and Khalil back at a show here in California or in fucking, you know, Texas or Chicago, wherever.
Next weekend, Will's coming. I
I
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's put that out there or not, but he's, as far as I know,
he just spilled the beans. All I know is I'm fucking excited. If I see Will next week and I don't see Khalil, I'm gonna be pissed.
Khalil better come too. If you know he's able to leave Canada in their country, they can leave now. So they got no excuse.
God, it's confirmed. Oh my God,
what
a weekend! What a weekend we're gonna have! I am so excited. Yes.
There it is,
bro.
So he'll be there. He put it out there, not me.
and Turtle. Oh, sorry, Turtle.
Is she coming too?
Turtle's gonna, yeah. Turtle, I hope you come. Probably not anymore though. Fuck, my bad, bro. With all due respect, there was some great no, I'm just gonna stop talking. But yeah, dude, I am so excited. That means we're gonna have a lot of people to link up with come next weekend. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think your prediction is of the turnout? Now, we know that Arlington, all their vendors were sold out, right? But I don't know. I feel like there could have been more people at Arlington. What do you, I mean, and I don't know. Do you feel like Tinley is just going to be fucking just balls to the walls, fucking shoulder packed? What do you think?
It sounds to me like it's going to be a show for the books for sure. Arlington, you know, I haven't missed an Arlington show since fall of 2018. I've been to everyone, and it seemed a little light to me. You know, they had the aisles kind of wide, so maybe that's what it was or something. But I've heard a lot of people did good, you know, sales wise. So yeah, that's all that matters for the vendors. You know what I mean? And then the auction was solid, right? We did pretty good amount of money. So yeah. So auction, you know, hey, that's a win in my books. But I think Tinley's gonna rock. I think it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it next weekend.
The Super Bowl of reptile shows is going down in a week from now. Literally a week from now. I get in with my wife and the homie Matt Summers Friday, I think like 1:00 in the afternoon or something. But then yeah, we're staying at the Holiday Inn, which is the show where the show's at,
right
obviously,
there.
Right? When do you get in? When do you get into Chicago?
I'm coming in Friday. I think around 12:30 or something like that. And I might have to kick it around the airport. I don't know. I usually try and make sure if anyone needs a ride, I'm there, you know. So
that's cool.
Yeah. It's a long drive, really. It's like 45 minutes an hour. Yeah.
We got a rental because what the plan for us is, you know, we're gonna do Tinley Friday, Saturday, but then first thing Sunday, we're dipping out to go hang out with Brian and
Potter?
hang out with No, Brian Barczyk.
Oh, you're gonna go to Detroit first?
No, afterwards.
Is he coming to Tinley?
He's not. No.
Ah, man, I wish he would.
I know. I was hoping he was too. One of these days we'll get him back at a show. I'm telling you, man. Like, you know, I get he has his like reasonings why he doesn't want to go to shows, and they're really solid reasons. But
100%.
I just feel like we're just in a different time now. You know, I feel like there'd be so much love and overjoy of him just being there and people wanting to see him versus like I don't know. I dare some fool in a wheelchair to come tweak out on Brian, like, or somebody fucking like get the fuck. I would love to try to see that. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that shit ain't happening. It's a whole different ball game, and yeah, his reasons are legit. I've talked to him, I've heard him too, and you know, but I think it's a whole different ball game for him these days. You know, I think he get nothing but love. You know, especially, you know, he's friends with a lot of people that, you know, influencers and whatnot, and nobody's gonna sit back and listen to some bullshit against Barchek, you know. So
Yeah, it can only go for so long, and that's the thing too, man. Like I can understand. I mean, there's good about like if you're guilty of like if somebody has true dirt on your ass and you're a piece of shit, you know, which I take that back. I mean, because even piece of shit people still do good in this business. I mean, like you could be called out and singled out, you could probably be a bad name for like so long, but at the end of the day, you could still sell snakes. So I take that back. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of people that are still involved in the reptile game who are just well-known piece of shits and done terrible deals and sold really fucked up snakes, but still have a website, still go vend, still do all this other shit.
Still sell. Yeah.
Still
yeah,
sell,
that's true.
Which is
nuts. I think that Brian could do good for US Arc too, though. I think that if he announced that he was coming to the shows, I think that, you know, he might be able to do some good too. So I look forward to the day where he starts to come back out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we need US Arc to kind of want to partnership with Brian, you know. I don't know
circle around him too. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what the missing link is, you know, and I don't want to get involved. I don't get involved with politics. It is what it is. But like I definitely know that if they were to partner up or like some shit, it could be huge. Like and it's already huge. Like we're like there's already big things going down, you know. But I mean, this goes back to every almost topic I have on almost every show, how like, you know, instead of being against each other, we need to just kind of like, hey, look, we're in a situation where if you have any ounce of power and you can team up with somebody else who has power, dude, combine that shit and you get more power out of it. So there's so many important people in this hobby that don't fuck with many important people in this industry. And that's like, that just leads to the seed of the root of the problem. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, we just need to all get along, or like, you know, you don't always have to like somebody, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you kind of like, you know, I don't have a kid, right? But I'm assuming if your kid is in a sport, you know, and you don't like the kid's parent, you're not gonna stop the kid from playing the sport. You know what I mean? Like you're still gonna like be cordial. You're gonna have to put up with whatever you have to put up with so the kid can still play the sport. But you're gonna be a team player. And I just feel like this is kind of like that situation with a lot of things where like people should just get over their fucking, you know, dispute for whatever reason against somebody and just swallow it and just swallow the pride and be like, all right, how can we make this fucking whole entire hobby a better place? Because we need as many as good ideas as possible. I'm telling you right now, like it's scary. Mm-hmm. It's scary because there's not one person I talk to about like animal laws and what the future holds, and nobody's laxed about this. Everyone is fucking concerned that shit's gonna hit the fan and everyone's gonna want to move to Texas with their reptiles.
Yeah, 100%, man. You know, it's I try not to get involved. You know, I don't put myself out there a ton. You know, I mean, you can look at my IG. I think I have, you know, less than 1,000 followers, where, you know, a lot of people have 4, 5, 6K, you know, plus. And, you know, I try and avoid drama 100%. I don't have time for that shit. And, you know, I wish it was a lot better off. I mean, is it?
We're gonna get my boy up to 1K followers right now on Instagram, and he's not even sweating it. He don't even want the 1K, but I want him to have 1K. Let's go follow my man. And Miguel, can you help me on this, please? Miguel, all we need is Miguel, and it's a wrap. But yo, right now, wait, yeah, he's probably. I don't know. He's probably buying Tina sushi or something because of the whole stripper thing I mentioned. But go fucking follow my man right here, Dave Levine, on Instagram. But like, you know, I did mention on my stories earlier the week how like you're not somebody who's out there putting himself on his stories every day. You're not fucking blogging. Like you're just enjoying it, bro. Like you're kind of going at your own pace and you're letting your work kind of do the talk for you, which is awesome.
Yeah, you know, I enjoy doing it, and the followers, you know, it's good. You know, I'm sure to help sell snakes or whatever, but, you know, I'm doing it for me. You know, I breed snakes. The snakes I breed, the pairings I do are for me first. And if I have something that people want whenever I'm done, I'm happy to sell them, you know, but I'm breeding for myself. You know, I've got projects I'm working and I'm just enjoying it, you know, so I'm not trying to get involved in all that. So.
That's the mentality, I'm telling you, man, because when you just like limit your expectations of what you're trying to accomplish other than your productions, when you should like understand like your productions is your accomplishment. But if you're like producing pastel vanilla DG clowns and you're like, oh, I'm not at 1,000 followers and I almost don't want to do this anymore. Okay, whoa, that's when you're in a fucking really wrong fucking place and you're not even in this in the right reason. Like, and I feel like I was mentioning, you're not so gun-ho about wanting to have thousands of followers. But I can tell you right now, I mean, you would appreciate it though, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
as it comes.
100%. It's not a bad thing. Absolutely. You know,
Right.
you know, and when I post things I do, the more exposure you get, obviously, the more people know about what you're working with, and you know, they might be working the same project and want something that you've made. You know, so it's a good thing, no doubt. You know, not against it by any means.
All right, we're gonna get a little bit greasy with this next topic. I hope you're ready. Okay, am I coming in? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So for somebody who only has a couple years under their belt with breeding ball pythons, right? You know, you have other people who've been involved in this industry for quite some time, you know, and they've never made a snake they've never produced a snake that sold more than $1,000, only because they put themselves in that category, right? But then you have some people who literally try to talk others out of investing into high-end projects because you're simply going to run into a problem of producing these high-end animals that simply aren't going to sell. Like nobody could afford a $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 snake. Are you running into that issue? I mean, let's talk about how you've been able to sell, you know, your visuals, like the stuff that you're hitting and not holding back, or unless you're just being a complete RCR and holding everything back. But like, how is the whole selling going for you with this high-end stuff?
Well, I tell you, you know, I've sold some of that $1,000 to $3,000 stuff, and to be honest, like I'm my best customer at this point right now. This is my second year breeding. Like, you know, all this stuff that's between 5 and 15K type animals, I'm keeping them. I mean, I'm at the end of the season, I'm gonna wait until everything hatches and then kind of decide like, you know, what I need to keep and what I don't need to keep. But the deal is, man, if you produce the quality animals, the sales will come. There's people looking for animals that you're making, especially if you're making those high-end animals. I wouldn't advise anyone not to invest whatever is comfortable for you to invest. You know, everyone has a different level of comfort as far as what they can invest is. And, you know, I would say whatever you can invest, do it. I don't see any issue. I know people are buying snakes. I'm posting them and selling them. And you know, as far as followers go and things like that, I'm not really somebody that is, you know, I don't have 10,000 followers, you know. So the sales are there. I don't see any issue with investing heavily. You know, there's been plenty of videos. I love the fact that lately that people are coming out and sharing their numbers, I guess you could say. Like they're saying, hey, I invested this much, I made this many animals, this is how much I could make. And you know, Miguel being one of them, and a few other people are following suit from Miguel and showing that you know, that there is a business behind this as well.
And for sure, 100%.
And you know, I would never advise anyone not to invest. And I would say invest what's comfortable for you. You know, and everyone's a little bit different as far as what they feel that is right for them, you know. So, but yeah, no, there's a market for $100 snakes, paycheck snakes they call them, I guess, and there's a market for 10, 15, 20K snakes. You know, there just is.
And whatever level you come in at, you can either go up or down at. That's why I love this. Like, you know, like nobody's making you stay in the $300, $500 range for 10, 15 years. Like that's a choice. Like you could have easily kept some held back. You could have held some shit back and went another route and done some really crazy shit with the stuff you've been making, but you decided to just simply sell everything every year. And that's kind of like that's like an old school breeder mentality. I feel like where it's like breed, sell, where now you're in this market of ball pythons where it's like, well, hold on. Like I'm not going to just sell something that's going to make somebody fucking 60, 70, $80,000 down the road when they can make me that money. You know what I mean? Like it's strategic. You got to be real smart about this shit, you know? And I love it, bro. Like, honestly, like,
Man, I do too, especially in the beginning. Like, you
love it.
really need to hold back your stuff. Like, in
Yeah.
the beginning, you know, unless you already have those animals, you need to hold them back. And, you know, luckily, you know, I don't do this for a living. I have my other businesses that, you know, are paying my bills. And if I want to keep every single snake I make, I can do so. But I definitely am going to hold back, you know, probably more than what most people would, especially if you're doing it for a living, which, you know, by all means, you know, if you're doing it for a living, rock on, do what you got to do, you know. But I'm in a position where I can keep what I want, and, you know, kind of, I guess you called it the RCR mentality, you know.
I love it. Hold Back City, baby. That's fucking Will's the mayor of that city. Hold Back City all day, every day.
100%. You know,
he kind of like, I always kind of knew like Will was not much of an availability guy. Like, you know, like he'll let shit go, but you know, it doesn't last, right? But like when I actually got him on the podcast and like really understood his game planning with the shit that he makes, just doesn't let go. And then you have people like Ozzy talking about it. Okay, when you have people like Ozzy talking about your holdback game, that is when you're just like heavy.
100%. You know, I've got. I think I've only bought 2 snakes from Will. I literally think I only have 2. And it's not because I didn't want some of the stuff he's made, man. It's not nothing like that. And there's tons of animals that he makes that I want. And there's only 2 I could twist his arm out of, you know? So.
I mean, but whatever fucking goddamn program you're running with your pitches, because whatever you said to Miguel worked. And I'm sure you could get whatever you want out of fucking, you know, Will too. Goddamn. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna need to talk because you do get your hands on some shit. I'll tell you that.
I've got gotten lucky a few times. You know, Will's hard to get snakes out of. Justin sells, you know, but
oh my god, can you believe it?
The stuff he sells me. There he is. Look at that.
Who's in the building? Hitter after hitter. I don't even know. Last time I had Miguel and Justin Cabelka and Will all in the comments for an episode. So I mean that speaks volumes for you, my man. This is huge. Shout out to Justin Cabelka. Thank you for being here. But yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about?
You know, I wonder sometimes, you know, the stuff I get to buy from Justin, which I'm very appreciative of the things you know that I can buy. It makes you wonder sometimes what he's not selling. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's the real like masterminding of like really putting your future up for success. Your holdback, your futures depend on your holdbacks all day, every day. So like that's why it's like you being your best customer has to be the motto. Like, you know, otherwise if you give fucking, you know, Larry from fucking LTRXZ Exotics all your holdbacks, well, guess what? That motherfucker in the next 4 or 5 years is going to be the one really taking those projects, and you're going to be like, damn, I'm still selling $1,200 snakes, and I'm on year 15. Like, fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this is chess. It's not checkers. This is a fucking man's game right here, bro. And women.
It's a long game.
It's the long game. Long and patient, baby. That's all it is, man. Like if you got the patience, man, and you have the wit, that business wit and mentality, and you're able to just like, okay, if it's one thing I will say about your following, Dave, right? Even though you're just shy of 1,000 followers, which he's about to hit 1,000 followers, please go follow Dave right now, Natural State Exotics on Instagram. But if it's one thing, man, is your following that you're building is following because they know that you have high-end shit. Like they are specifically following you because of the shit that you're working with. So I feel like that's why when you do put out some stuff that's out there, I mean, you don't need 10,000 fucking 20,000 followers to sell the amount of snakes you're selling right now, because you have people who are already right there waiting for you to put it out there. I feel like, you know, yeah. and I feel like it comes with just you just letting your work build the following for you, which, bro, there's so many different routes you could take about building to marketing your brand, you know, and it goes to sense of like how heavy you want to take your projects. You taking your projects to another level and you taking your marketing to another level are 2 different games that all need to like make sense at the end of the day. Does that You follow me?
No, 100%. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm happy for every follower that I do get, and that's kind of the way my mentality has been as far as followers go. You know, you can get, you know, some people I know have 50, 60K, and you know, I feel like the few followers I do have are following me for a reason. You know, they're seeing what
Yeah.
I'm doing and like, hey, you know, I want to see what this guy's gonna produce next. You know, and that means a lot to me. You know, so.
You know, if it's one thing too, Dave, like, I don't know, man, you kind of built yourself around some solid ass people right from the get-go. So I don't think you're really like reaching out there for like friendships. Not that you're not a friendly guy, you're amazing, but bro, you're in such a good place with the people you know, the people you go to for things. Your crew at shows. I'm fucking part of your crew, so it's like I'm just saying you're in a fucking really good place, bro. You know what I mean? I feel like everything's yet to come, and I feel like with your projects that you're just now starting to put out, you know, is really speaks for itself, man. I'm so excited for you. You have no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of been my breakout year as far as producing some stuff. You know, you know, odds are what they are. I've been lucky to hit some pretty cool animals, I feel like this year. And you know, as far as the people I've been able to surround myself with, you know, I feel lucky to have made friends with some pretty cool people. And
Yeah.
you know, I've always been a people person, I guess you could say. And you know, uh, yeah, I've made some pretty cool friends over that's kind of my favorite part about this whole deal. You could take the snake thing out of it, you know. The people that I've met have definitely made it worthwhile, you know. There's a lot of cool people in this industry.
Matt Byram. I don't know why I'm thinking of Matt Byram, but I love Matt
Yeah,
Byram.
my boy.
Fucking
Yeah,
with Matt Byram.
that's my
It was
boy.
so good to see him at Arlington. I was so happy to see him. I was like, because I was kind of remembering in the beginning, I was like, "Where's Matt? Where's Matt?" And then I sit down. I'm all fucking, you know, goddamn. I don't know how many microdoses of chocolates I ate, but I was so fucking high at the auction.
Yeah.
And then here comes like this fresh, shaved, looking guy wearing like a sports like he looked like he just got done playing basketball at 24-hour fitness or something. And I'm like, yeah, he looked good. You know, I was like, dude, Matt, what the fuck? And he was fucking, there he is. Matt Byram dropped off a $4,500 snake for the auction that
Yep.
sold for like just shy of $3,000. So shout out to Matt Byram for that.
Yeah, I think it was a Zuwadi.
Zuwadi,
Yeah.
proven breeder male.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
So that
Matt
was
looks
cool
good.
flex.
He's looking healthy. He's doing the right things and trying to better his life. You know, he's doing good. So yeah, I don't know who bought it, but that Zuwadi was a good donation.
Bob Vu.
Oh, did he really?
Yep.
Okay.
He was going back and forth with I forgot who, but yeah, they rallied up there. He got it for like just shy under 3K, which is cool. You know, it's like Phil's face was like he couldn't believe it because you know he showed up late. Matt Byram showed up like 20 minutes into the auction. It just has a snake bag, and then gets Phil to come to the table. He was like, "Here, I want to donate this." And Phil's like, "All right, how much is it?" He's like, $4,500. And I remember Phil's eyes were like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, this."
All right.
Yeah, I was like, you know what I mean. But it's like, dude, that's why I love the U.S. ARC shit, man. It's like, yeah, you know, we could do better, but man, the people who are doing the good shit is just like, man, it's awesome. You know, it's just, I don't know. I really love those auctions, man.
There's nothing more important. That's I don't know if that's like the major way they receive money, but I assume it probably is. I mean, I think they did 48,000 at the Arlington show, which I mean, shout out to Arlington. That's awesome. And I mean, if you do that 10 times a year, that's $500,000. I mean, that's pretty solid. You know,
33. They did 33K at Anaheim, which like Anaheim is like you gotta understand, Anaheim is a big show, but it's mostly fucking window shoppers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I've been to one Anaheim.
Yeah. So, but even Anaheim had big numbers, you know, which is awesome for a fucking, you know, we didn't even have Miguel there. We busted over 30K, you know, and nothing against you, Miguel. I know you're busy, but I'm just saying. But yeah, man, it's all good shit. I'm telling you about it. And like, you know, I can't preach harder when it comes to like, you know, yeah, if you fly and make a show like a thing, like, you know, you get the family together, I'm telling you, do your best to make the US ARC auction a part of your agenda when going to shows, because it's going to really open your mind to a lot of things. You're going to see how fucking awesome this hobby really is. And like, you never know what relationship it might link to you next to kind of pursue what you're trying to do in these things, man, because it's all who you know. I'm telling you right now.
No, 100%. The auctions are something else, man. You know, the first one I went to, I wasn't really even in the industry hardly. I've just had a couple of snakes, and I was like, these fools are paying $800 for some cupcakes, and like, what the fuck's going on here, you know? But then when you get involved, you're like, oh, I get it, you know, I'm gonna buy me some cupcakes too for $800.
Yeah,
No
like,
big
oh,
deal.
fuck.
You know,
But dude, yeah,
it's cool.
those damn Jello shots and all this. I'm not gonna mess with any of those stuff. I've heard enough stories from Joel, and I just don't. I don't want to have to see what you know what that will bring you if you drink that shit. Have you had any of those green Jello shots that they pass around at the USR auctions?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Tastes like
yeah.
glass, right?
Hey, speaking of Joel and Nick, shout out to them for this beer right here. This beer came from Arlington. They couldn't fly on the plane back with it, so they gave it to me to drive home with. So thank you.
Oh, nice. Respect. Oh my God. Shout out to those guys. I know they're so unfortunately, me, Dave, Nick, Joel, and Matt all got fucking corona after Arlington, right?
Yeah, I did,
Right?
man.
Am I
You
missing
did.
anybody?
Joel, Nick, Matt, me, and you. No, that's it. Jared was the only one that was kind of hung out with us that didn't get it for some reason.
I have a feeling Jared's the one who gave it to us, and he just
Maybe he already had it.
I feel like he is immune to anything because he hangs out at strip clubs his entire life. So it's like he
No
can
big
get
deal.
whatever fucking can still keep drinking and getting tattoos like it's nothing, smoking Newports, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's up with him not getting it, but yeah, no, we all got it. I think you and Joel are the only ones who lost your taste. You lost taste and smell, right?
Yeah, for a whole week. I barely just got that shit back, man. Like
See,
literally,
that's wicked. I couldn't imagine smelling like gasoline and not being able to smell it. Like that's the weirdest thing.
if it's one thing I kind of was like, man, this is like, I wish I could keep this going, is because my wife, she makes a bunch of like healthy food, right? And it's good food. Like I'm just a fat ass. Like I pass on it. But dude, I was inhaling all her fucking goddamn healthy shit she was making. And I could just imagine it, whatever I wanted it to taste like in my mind. And that's what it was.
Yeah. That's
But
funny,
now
though.
I'm like, now my tastes are back, and now I'm like craving burritos again. I'm back. I'm like way back on I'm on my old shit right now. And like,
So you can taste again?
oh yeah. Just like literally today is when I was like, you know, like I took a sip of my coffee and I could taste my coffee. And I don't know how my smell game is, but my taste game's back for sure. 100%.
Yeah. See, mine kind of got altered a little bit. Like when I brushed my teeth, my toothpaste tasted different. Like there was a
Yeah. Oh,
but
dude, brushing my teeth. My
It's
throat
weird.
was not fucking feeling the toothpaste, bro. Like I was
It's
like
weird.
literally like all day, just like my throat was not feeling it. I could tell you the biggest things I went through with COVID was the fatigue. Like, and I still have, like we were talking about before we went live, like I still have no energy really. Like I didn't put out a vlog this week. I'm sorry. All because check this out. I woke up and I was like, I'm going to put out a vlog because I was supposed to get this package in the mail from my man Socrates. I was going to get one of his designer chondros and one of his.
I've seen your post today on your story. It was like,
one of his daughter's first ball python productions being sent to my house. And where is it? It's stuck in Indianapolis right now. So like, literally, I remember I was vlogging. I'm like, let's go check to see what the update is on the tracking. And like, I recorded my reaction, and sure enough, bro, fucking got Indianapolis. That fucking state haunts me. I don't know what it is, but yeah, man, they fucking he has. And unfortunately, man, there's Socrates sent 3 packages out, and all 3 are stuck in Indianapolis.
where is he from?
He's from Florida.
Florida. See, I sent 2 packages out yesterday. Actually 2 opposite sides of the country. I'm in the middle of the country. I sent one to Florida and one to California. Both of my packages went through Memphis and they arrived on time. But
yeah. So here's the thing. He was talking about that. Like, you know, any packages that he has gone that stops by Memphis first, always, for the most part, makes it to its destination. But for whatever reason, when it goes to Indy, it's a problem. Literally
crazy.
like clockwork, Socrates says. So I don't know if it's the day of the week. I don't know if there's a way to call FedEx and say, hey, what's the schedule like where you're not going to Indy? Because I do not want to send any more animals to Indy. There's obviously some fucking idiot who doesn't care about their job, not scanning shit, or just not giving a fuck. That's just a really bad state. I don't fuck with Indy. It's a fucking bad area. And I can only imagine the employees there who work for FedEx who just don't give a fuck. And those damn poor animals are just sitting in the corner right now, just waiting to fucking drink some water or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, man, that's bad. You know, hopefully he sent him out yesterday, so you still have the buffer of Friday. So hopefully you get him tomorrow.
Dude, you don't even understand. I all day I've been refreshing because, you know, I know that the shout out to the FedEx hub station here in San Diego. They're cool as fuck with me. They're like, hey, we noticed your package is held up in Indy and we just want to let you know. I'm like, yeah. They're like, there's a second wave that comes in at 1:30 and we're hoping it's on it. And like, I remember I kept myself busy and I remember looking at the clock and it was 1:45 and I hit the refresh on the tracking and sure enough, still in Indianapolis, motherfuckers.
Well, hopefully it come tomorrow. It's a chondro?
It's a chondro and a ball python.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
A Snake Master Exotics, an 6-year-old production. 6 years old and she produced it. A super banana clown, female.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that sucks. I've luckily, in all the shipping I've done, have not had anything not arrive on time yet. But, you know, I'm hub to hub only. I'm Tuesday and Wednesday only. Just because I want that buffer of Thursday and Friday, you know, if something doesn't arrive on time. But man, it's always stressful, especially when you're sending, you know, some pricey stuff, you know.
That's the thing, dude. I feel like it's like if you're in this game, it's about to happen to you. Like
it's gonna happen.
Like, it's gonna fucking happen to you. And honestly, as upset as I wanted to be today, like I had two other homies waiting on packages who are stuck in Indy with me. The homie Josh, who is in the building right now, he has a package coming from Socrates, and he's in Michigan, so he's like a few hours from Indianapolis, and his shit's still stuck in Indy. That would drive me nuts if my shit was 3 hours away. So you know, there's nothing you can do about it. It's the unfortunate thing about shipping reptiles. Like, you know, it's FedEx just ain't got their shit together, and they don't care to get their shit together with animals. They don't give a fuck. Like, we need them more than they need us. You know what I mean?
Bro,
like,
we need them so bad, you know?
Yeah.
Not too long ago, I seen a video. I think it was Palumbo's pythons.
Oh, I heard about that.
He was trash talking them hard. And I'm like, you know, I know it sucks and you got a bad situation, but shut the hell up because, man, we don't want to trash them too hard because we need.
They could be like, yo, fuck your animals. We're not going to send nothing anymore. How about that?
Who else do we have? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Delta. I mean, but you know.
I mean, I don't know. I heard a lot of people going through Delta, but I mean, if it's not a big snake, Delta's expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard Delta's more of like the cost efficient thing when you're sending a massive snake.
Like a wooden crate or something.
Yeah, like a big crate. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which I'm not. But yeah, but at the end of the thing, like there's so many unfortunate things that come with this hobby that there's not much you can do about it. Dealing with shitty people, that's one of them. But you know, obviously dealing with a bad shipment, like dealing with somebody or dealing with bad FedEx luck, I guess, man. Because I mean, it happens. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow holds, man. I'm praying for some sunshine because fuck.
Man, I hope it works out. Yeah, I'm sure it will. I think tomorrow it'll come through though. You know, usually if it gets delayed, it's like it's a overnight type thing. I think, anyways. You know, I haven't had any personal experience with anything getting delayed so far. Knock on wood, you know. But I would assume that's why they tell you if you're gonna ship on Tuesday or Wednesday because you have that buffer of an extra day, you know. So
right. Yeah.
Especially a chondro. Is it a baby?
It's a baby, bro. It's a real expensive one. A designer. Like this motherfucking thing is no joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That hurts.
Like easily a 10K package. Let's just say that.
Oh shit. Yeah. That's bad.
For 2 steaks. So it's not peanuts. But we'll see what happens, man. Knock on wood. You know, it is what it is, and everyone goes through it. And
I seen your post in your story with the expecting some heat. I think you put or something like that, and I didn't see a picture of the snake today, so I was like, oh shit, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, trust me. I mean, luckily you were just kind of like, I wonder what happened to yourself. But I had like a handful of other people hit me up. Hey man, can I see what you got? And I'm just like, listen, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Fuck off. Don't want to discuss it. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, so real quick, I gotta ask you, okay? you know, with the direction you're taking your projects, and you know, when I say direction, you're obviously working with some high-end shit. It doesn't seem like you have a limit on where you want to take your shit. I mean, you're just now getting the ball rolling. You're super excited, but what is the end goal for your you know, the amount of clutches you want to produce and how big you want to take your brand, and you know, do you ever want to vend and go that route and whatnot?
So vending is not an option. I don't plan on vending. Shows to me are getting to kick it with the friends and networking. I want to meet new people, you know, and just getting to hang out with people I already know. That's all the shows are to me. I enjoy going to and looking at cool animals, you know, seeing what everybody else is producing. That's what I love about shows, and that's the way it'll stay. Um, you know, as far as for me, you know, this year with 19 clutches, I think 19, yeah, 19 clutches. You know, I've been a little bit nervous about my rat production because I breed my own rodents. There's not a lot of people around here that I can get supply from. I have to drive a good distance. So I recently bought, actually, I should be getting it here in the next 3 weeks or so, a 12 by 28 building that I'm going to build out. And I've got,
For the
I'm gonna put
rodents.
it, yeah, for the rodents only. Um, I'm gonna
Damn.
insulate it, and that's my goal this year with some of the sales that I have is I'm gonna buy probably 4 or 5 racks from Freedom Breeder. I bought this building. I'm gonna insulate it and heat and cool it. But at this point right now, like I'm at a max on what I can feed as far as that many clutches. I mean, you figure 19 clutches. Uh, you know, you're talking 120, 130 babies. That's a lot of rats going out. Where I'm in a pretty small room right now, and I don't do heirloom breeding where I don't pull the females from the males. I do colony breeding right now. So you know, I'm kind of nervous on my production, to be honest with you. I'm borderline able to continue to feed what I'm producing. So you know, as of right now, I think I'm at a max. I don't want to do more than 20, maybe 30 clutches a year at this point.
Until you get your rat production up, is what you're saying.
When my rat production gets up, I think you know, maybe by next year I might hire somebody to care for the rats. I tell you, if I had to pick one thing,
Bro.
just completely get rid of in this industry, or for me, I say in this industry, for my program, is rats. I would love for someone else to take care of them.
Motherfucker, bro. Dude, thank God for my sponsor. I love you so much, Cold Blooded Cafe. But dude, honestly,
And I order from them too. You know, I have some backup in the freezer from Cold Blooded. You know,
breeding your own rats is a whole nother fucking hustle. It's a whole nother ball game. And it's like you have to do it to feed your fucking product. Like you have to. Like it's like something you just don't want to miss any steps on. Like it's just such a like, oh man, rats are just no joke, man. It's like
so important yet something you just don't want to do. You know, my brother-in-law, he helps me with the rodents whenever I'm cleaning them. I don't keep them at my house. I keep them on the property where my business is, my car lot. But yeah, if I could buy rodents from somebody around here, I would love to do so. But there's just not a consistent and quality enough supply for me to feel like I'm going to provide for my collection. And you know, there are some people that produce around here, not very many, but I'm pretty picky on what I'm putting into my snakes. I want them to have high quality. You know, I feed only Missouri 6F.
yeah, baby. Missouri, baby. Only the best.
Yeah, I mean, I have good high quality rodents, and that's why my snakes grow. I think, you know, I'm really particular on what I put in them. So, but yeah, the rodents are tough, man. They're tough.
Now, as tough as the rodents are to maintain for the snakes that you're raising, I do feel like your feeding regimen, like your diet program, is a huge play in how your breeding season is going to plan out. So let's kind of talk about like how you feed your adult females and your males and whatnot. We can kind of just work our way down to the smaller snakes, but I mean, let's kind of talk about what your rotation is, or like, you know, if you have a food cycle or whatnot that you do with your females each year.
So, you know, matter of fact, when we were in Detroit, the first time I ever, you know, we had talked a few times, but the first time I ever got to see you, was the first time you met Bartek, and we went to dinner,
talked.
and
we talked.
Bartek, yeah, and Bartek was talking
Yeah.
too, and he was said, food in equals eggs out, and it's
Right.
your food regimen is the most important thing when it comes to breeding. And I had never really put a lot of thought in that. I've always fed my snakes once a week, one rat a week, good.
Right.
But during breeding season and when they're building, I'll feed them 1, 2, and every now and again maybe 3 rats. If they look like they're like ready for another
Right.
one, I'll give them another one. But um, you know, that's super important as far as when it comes to breeding. But I'm a weekly regiment. That's when I feed all my animals once a week.
Right.
Um,
Same here.
Usually try and feed them at the same time in the evening. With getting sick last week, I kind of got screwed up a little bit as far as when I had COVID. I couldn't for a few days there get out of bed. To be honest with you, I had 104 fever, and man, it got
Bro.
pretty bad. But I'm back on track again. But yeah, food in is eggs out is what Barchek said, and anytime somebody with that much knowledge talks, if you're not listening, you're stupid. So
I mean,
was
hello,
listening.
that's the thing. It's like, and that's why, because of people like Miguel, we were in a position where we could listen to fucking Brian Barchek spit some game. And
100%.
best believe I was all fucking ears, man, because you got to understand. And I kept asking Brian after like that, it's the importance of like, after a snake lays, it's very important to get her back on food, but not too much food. Like, you don't fucking get this bitch all blasted
Yep.
again. Like, it's very minimal. You know what I mean? Like, and it's that simple. Like, it's consistency, but it's not overdoing it. It's a small, like a decent sized rat. Not decent. I take that back, but just a smaller size rat every week until it's that time where she's getting pounded and that she just wants to eat, you know what I mean? And that's when you find that timing where like, okay, I could blast her with a couple extra, if she wants, but I just feel like the first few months after her laying is just so minimal, like, and it's just once a week, but just light, you know what I mean? And like, don't fucking, I don't know. Let me ask you this. Do you feed mediums to your adults? Like, do you feed them bigger size rats when it comes to that? Or like how big of a size do you go when it comes to offering a rat?
I'm usually feeding small, and that's pretty much all I feed is smalls. And after my females had laid, I've always been under the understanding you want to get them back on food and get them pounding in food as quick as possible. I don't know if it was a podcast you did or I forget what Barchek was on there, and he was talking the same thing you're talking about now was after they lay, you want to keep them to maintain, maybe grow a little bit, but when they're ready to breed is when you really want to start putting on the calories. And that kind of made my thinking different. So my females that have laid this year, I'm feeding them. Obviously I want them to get back on food, but I'm not really gonna start pounding them until they're 3 months before they're about to start really building again. And
Because
I'm always changing. I'm evolving, I should say.
Always evolving.
Always learning.
Always big dogging.
Yeah, there you go. And always learning, and that was pretty good advice. And like I said, when somebody that has that much experience says something, you got to listen to it, period. I mean.
Well, the analogy that he broke down for me at dinner one time that made a lot of sense was simply this. In the wild, there's times where snakes have access to food and there's times where snakes don't have access to food, okay?
Yeah.
The dry season, which is more than likely the time after they lay, okay? After snakes lay in the springish beginning of summertime, it's just hot. There's no food around. Everything's dead. Everything's dried up. The snakes are not eating. They're barely drinking. It's a rough time, right? They're getting what they can, basically. But then as the rain comes and everything else and the fucking vegetation grows from the ground, all these little fucking rodents start coming around. And then guess what? They start fucking blasting that fucking food because they know they're about to start producing eggs again. So that's the like psycho mentality that like, kind of like you just have to think of like, after a snake lays, they're not going to be around much food for a while. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And even Tim Bailey, I think when it comes to April, he just doesn't feed at all. He doesn't feed until like July, I think till like July or August. But there's literally like April through like July or August, nobody eats at all. Period.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah,
But that
yeah.
his shit is so seasoned like that where he could do that. You know what I mean? Like where everything is literally like clockwork in his room. Like where like where I'm at, I'm trying to produce everything all year round, you know, because
See, that's kind of where I'm at too. I mean,
right.
I've had my first clutch was probably hatched in, I want to say May, and I think my last one will be December. I mean, that's a 7-month period.
Right.
That's almost year round, you know, at this point. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
start pairing probably pretty soon for next season already, you know. So
I mean, dude, man, I was kind of I was kind of in way ahead of myself this year because like let's see, I got my first clutch in July. The last clutch I got was in October of the year before. So I had not seen a clutch. I had not seen a clutch in like 9 months, like which was crazy. But they all came at once. Like now they're all like, you know what I mean? Which is I'm thankful for. But I think now and the reason behind that is because the snakes that didn't lay for me last year, they were all kind of fucked up. I stopped breeding way too soon the year before. So I had, because I thought season wise, I was like, they're not going to go, but they were just going to go later. Like, you know, where I'm at, bro, there is nothing about like what time did they go last year. Everything is different for me from the year before last year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It could be 1 month off. It could be 3 months off. It could be 2 months off, but it's always off. So I don't even go by, you know, I consider when to pair based off their based off their clutch and stuff like that. But everything else, like, you know, I read the signs off the snakes, bro, because that's it. You know,
well, when you're dealing with a virgin female, you kind of got to go by off the signs. But once they start laying, you kind of know when they're going to go next year. I mean, hey, I'll be right back. I got to go take a piss, man.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, take a piss. Damn, I've been holding Dave up. It was that Miller Lite. Shout out to all the 66 viewers in the building. Thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. My man Dave spitting some serious heat. If you guys did not know earlier, we had Justin Cabelka in the chats. We had Miguel Garcia up in the chats. We had RCR up in the chats. We had 514. We had a bunch of heavy hitters up in the chats. And I'm pretty sure all those heavy hitters, minus Khalil, we're not confirmed yet, but all the other heavy hitters is going to be at Tinley. And look who's in the building. Hold your horses. We have Harrison Wang. Harrison Wang is in the building. One of the heaviest hitters of the crew when it comes to meeting up with people at these shows. This is the man you want to meet right here. How you doing, Harry? Thanks for tapping in, bro. He's soon to be a father. Make sure you go follow my man, Royal Canvas Exotics. And Zchino, bro. I don't know. He has a really fucking awesome TikTok account you should go follow as well. But thanks for being here, player. Damn, big love in the building. But yeah, guys, a lot of heavy hitters, as you guys can see, tapping in for my man Dave, because this guy is working with some amazing shit, as we've been talking about for the last hour and 40 minutes. And I have a couple more topics before we get into the hot seat questions. So make sure you guys hang tight for a little bit, okay? Because we're not quite done yet. But like I said, if you are just now tapping in, hit that like button for my man Dave Levine, who's been spitting some heavy facts all damn night, man. I'm pretty excited about this fucking banana double het Sunset Clown project that he has, you know, in the works. We're going to see what happens with that. That's for damn sure. But yeah, man, who's all going to Tinley? Who's ready for Tinley next week, man? Drop a comment if you are going to Tinley. And if you're trying to link up, Tinley's going to be one hell of a show. It's going to be fun as fuck. Oh, I think we have my man back. Here comes Dave.
Tried to hurry, man.
I bet you that piss felt so great.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You feel better?
Harry's in the building, huh?
Harrison is in the building. Here he is, right here. Harrison Wang in the motherfucking building. Soon to be Papa Wang. Can you believe this guy's about to be a father?
He's going to be a daddy. That's cool, man. I'm happy for the dude.
I would say, man, if you want, you know, we were talking about the people you meet in this hobby and whatnot, and that's kind of what like the snakes are one thing, but the connections and the relationships you have with people in the hobby, I feel like knowing Harry makes being in this hobby even more that much special, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Harry's a real one.
Good dude. 100%. And
shout out to his wife, Demi.
I don't know if he's posted it. He's coming to Tinley too, man.
Okay. Oh, well, he dipped out. Harrison, you're coming to Tinley. Wow, that's huge news. That is going to be epic. Huge news. What the fuck happened, Dave Levine? We lost Dave. But dude, honestly, that's going to be sick as fuck. What a goddamn
Are you there?
reunion that's going to be. Yeah, we're here. You good?
Yeah. But no, Harry's coming to Tinley too. Did you already know
Crazy.
that? Probably.
No, I just know. I just now found out.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it, man, because Arlington, I lost $20 to Nick at Renowned Reptiles from Miguel not showing up. I was like, no, he'll show up, 100% guaranteed, and then he didn't. So it was his birthday weekend in his defense, So, but yeah, it sounds like a lot of people are going to be at Tinley. Man, I'm so stoked about next weekend.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna be awesome. Now let me ask you this: when it comes to you, I mean, you go to shows, Dave, right? But I mean, are you honestly ever shopping at shows? Like, do you honestly ever go to shows to shop?
So, I mean, that's not why I go. No, absolutely not. I go, but I do buy some stuff. I bought at the last Arlington show, not this one we went to recently, but the one before that. I bought some stuff from Santiago, Eye Candy Morse.
Bro, his table was heat. Bro.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about his table this last Arlington, which I mean, 100% some heat. I'm not taking anything away from him. I can't stand NFS, right, and not for sale. It's just something about it. If you're gonna bring it, put a freaking number on it, man. Come on.
Everything, no, but that's up to you. You got to build that relationship, dog. Come on, you got to respect that.
I'm with you.
Everything is for sale. That NFS is more like, what are you gonna do for it? Like you better fucking come correct, because if not, don't even bother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like waste type of thing. I don't know, man. Just like any holdbacks for sale, man. Like, look what Miguel did for you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he sold me some stuff that he probably wouldn't have let go of otherwise. But go to Bob Boo. I like Bob Boo. He's an awesome dude.
God, his table. I don't like going to his table, man, because I wanted to buy so much shit at that table. He has some fucking heat. God damn it.
But he had that pastel Desert Ghost Tri-Stripe and the super pastel Desert Ghost Tri-Stripe.
30K.
Hey, he put a number on them anyways, right? I mean, they, in my opinion, and they may be worth it, just 30K. He put a number on them though, right? So I appreciate that. They didn't say not for sale. He didn't want to sell them, bro. He didn't want to sell them, but he's gonna put a number on them.
Yeah. Hey, listen, everyone has their strategy when it comes to negotiation and when it comes to getting things out there. But at the end of the day, man, fuck, not for sale just means you got to work harder, or you better come correct or
hey, they're all they're all for sale, man. Yeah, I mean, if they brought him to the show, they're willing to part with him if it comes down to it.
I really, really wish, like, because as much as like people are more comfortable talking about the money side of ball pythons, I really wish like what the biggest holdback somebody like, what the highest amount of like somebody made off a holdback in a year off one single snake.
Yeah. Well, we're getting back into those times. It's before my time, but early days, like, like the banana early days where they were selling for $40,000, $30,000, $50,000, right? Like high dollar, or the scaleless head stuff. Matt Byram way back in the day bought a scaleless head for $50,000. I mean, that's just like, today you're like, what the hell? Like, that's insane, right? We're getting back into those days where you're going to see $20,000 to $50,000 animals, stuff like, I forget the name of the people who made them, captive bred specialties.
Yeah, captive bred snakes. Yeah, bro. They have
made those sunset pies.
Leopard. Yeah.
Yeah, leopard sunset pies. I don't know the dollar amount they sold for, but I'm going to guess they're 20 to 30K. I mean, and so we're getting back into those days where you're going to start seeing some of those $20,000 to $40,000 animals, the sunset clown Miguel just made. He probably won't let it go. But
70K, bro. 70K. He's getting offers at 70K already.
So, I mean, there you go. We're back into those days where you're going to start seeing some of those high dollar animals, which, man, I'm all for it. I love it. I think it's great for the industry. And, the stuff's hard to make. That's just as simple as it gets, and I'm excited to see those high dollar animals too. You know, and there's buyers for them. There is.
Oh, for sure there is. I mean, and the thing is, like, I'm just somebody really admiring the high end game of the ball python. You know what's going on with the ball python game, because there is a market, a huge market, and it's the kind of market that's inspiring other level of ball python breeders who don't even realize they have potential to go there if they want to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's opening up the gates, man. And I'm telling you, this is why a lot of people come to me after shows and get so pumped up after podcasts I have with ball python breeders, because there's something that's sparking and making them realize, like, holy shit, I'm literally 1 year away of making this or that, which could lead to this to that. And it's like, oh my God, bro, it's exciting, man. Listen, I look for any reason to want to feel like a kid again. Like, I just love being a kid, man. Like, I like having fun. And this game right here that we're in makes me feel like a kid so much. I'm telling you right now, it's you know, when it comes to just buying a snake or even getting a snake in the mail, which, like, I mean, dude, it never gets old. Getting a snake in the mail,
Christmas.
It's like Christmas every single time if it shows up on time, right? Fuck.
Yeah,
God, too soon.
Obviously.
but you know, but from that to, like, raising it up to pairing it up to fucking actually getting an egg from it, it's like the reward just never stops. And even when you have a snake that's on its, like, third, fourth year of laying for you, you appreciate that snake so much. You're just like, God, you fucking perfect little fucking reptile. Like, look at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God bless
You're
the
in love.
pythons.
Yeah, 100%. You know, everybody has a level that they're comfortable getting in at, but nobody doesn't have the capability to get to whatever level they want to. And you know, it just takes time. It's just a matter of time, and that's what's cool about it. You know, everybody can buy in at whatever level they want. I love it when people come. You know, I don't have a ton of people that come to my room because, you know, I'm where I am, and there's not a lot of reptile people in my area that I know. Anyways, there may be more than I know, but, you know, the few I do know, there's not a whole lot around here. But I love when people come here and, like, you know, I've got some animals in my collection that are $6,000-$7,000, and I've got some animals that I paid $600-$700 for. And I love it when someone will be like, that animal is the coolest animal you have in this collection. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's $500 animal, but okay, you know, it's cool. And so everybody, they all have their own flavor and taste of what they like, and that's just what's cool about it, you know. I really enjoy watching people come here and look at animals and, like, see what they like, and it's just fun, you know. But yeah, I feel like a kid, brother. I do.
But you school a person like that, right? You know, you have that person who walks into your collection favoriting the pastel het clown, like the more basic shit that you have, and is in awe. But if you fucking school that person and you show them a $7,000 snake, I guarantee their interest changes. I guarantee they go, oh wait, there's that clown that he's talking about. There's that fucking sunset and all this shit. And then, like, you know, it just comes with knowledge, you know, like, yeah, at first something will stand out to you, but that's because when you originally see a clown with all this other shit in it, you really don't even know what you're looking at. Like, you don't. Like, if you have no idea about this recessive and codom shit and this ball python fucking goddamn morph, which there's millions of them, you know, you're not gonna really know why a snake is $30,000. You're gonna have no clue why.
100%.
You know? But once you start fucking, you know, teaching yourself and you start putting yourself on game and you start meeting big dogs and shit, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know, I always try and show them, like, here's a desert ghost and here's a clown. And I show them, like, this is a adult pastel phantom leopard clown. And, like, I'm showing them, like, here's a desert ghost het clown. I said, so you put those genes in this one, and you can make this animal but super bright. And I'll show them a desert ghost clown. I'm like, you see the difference? And they're like, I'm like, cause that's about, you know, 4 to 6 years of breeding. And like, oh, okay. So, you know, that's why that animal's so valuable. I'm trying to explain to them what makes this, you know, because people sometimes are like, why is that a $12,000 animal? And I'm like, well, let me explain to you how many years it takes to make this animal. You know, and you can buy in with just 2 normal double heads, or you can buy in with a visual head or a double visual, which costs you 10 grand, or, you know, and, you know, it's cool to kind of see it click when they learn, like, oh, I see now, that makes more sense. Everybody always likes pies, and when they come here, they always love pieds and they always love the lavender albino. I have a paradox lavender albino that I made, and they always love the lavender paradox. Like something about the bright orange with the black spots. You know, it's just something that
I wish that whole paradox thing was like an actual morph. Like I wish you could like determine when you could, because that whole paradox thing is what really makes fucking
Sick.
these things fucking amazing sometimes. And you're just, but it's like that's just a shoe in. It's just kind of like just like, oh, you got like a mole or some shit, you know?
Yeah, it's sick for sure.
It's
You
so
know,
sick, though, don't get me wrong.
the first two animals I ever bred was the first two animals I ever bought was that pastel pied het lab to a yellow belly lab het pied,
Right.
and I didn't hit a single pied. I didn't hit a single dreamsicle, and it was. I mean, I should have been 50% of all of it. And then I bred a pastel chocolate het clown female to a pastel spot nose yellow belly clown. I should have been 50% clown. Didn't 7 eggs. Didn't hit a single clown. So my first season, like I kind of got brought down to reality of like what odds they can kick your ass, you know. And so I went into this season with like low expectations, and like I've been lucky, you know, this year. I say lucky, you know. I posted a comment on a snake I posted the other day, and someone's like, "Oh, you've been killing it over there," and I'm like, "Just been getting lucky. Anybody can do it." And Will, my boy, posted on there. He's like, "No, it's not luck. It's preparation and planning and doing the right things, and it's not
He's
just
right.
luck." Yeah, and you know,
RCR is not built off of luck. JKR is not built off of luck. Fucking Natural State Exotics is not built off of luck. This is built off of planning. This is all premeditated, bro. Like this goes back to what we were talking about, how this is a serious game, like if you want it to be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and you know, but like, you know, you're so easy going with what you got going on, man. And even though you have people who are like super just passionate, not that you're not passionate, you are, but you have people who are just like, they want the dream so bad, you know, they just like are so excited for you. When, you know, at the end of the day, you're just like, you're literally enjoying it as it comes. And
Yeah.
what a way to be.
I keep my expectations low, brother. I mean, like, you know, if I hit a cool ass animal, I'm like, I didn't expect to. I'm happy I did, you know, and hey, if you don't expect a lot and you hit something, you're a lot more stoked about it than if you were like, oh, I gotta hit this animal, you know, this is. But you know, I'm happy for every animal, any cool animal, and any animal that survives, I'm happy I hit, you know.
Right.
Even the regular ones, you know, if they're healthy, and I'm just happy, you know, to be hitting some cool stuff. So.
You're creating life for a beautiful,
100%.
beautiful little harmless noodle.
Yeah, you know, and when I was younger, I wanted to breed dogs. Like, so I've always been interested in breeding either dogs or and this was just so much of a better plan because, you know, breeding dogs, you have to build a big spot for them. You have to have a kennel, I guess you could say. And you know, I can. I moved into my house I'm in now about 9 months ago, December of last year, and I built a facility specifically for my snakes. So I got to design this room. You know, I had a custom built sink. I had a mini split for the heat and air. I had every plug put on a separate breaker. You know, I got to design this room 100% for the snakes, and that was really cool experience. You know, of course, I got this room pretty well maxed out. I've got a whole 40 series Freedom Breeder that I haven't even turned on yet. Like, it's literally empty. So I'm ready for expansion, you know, and ready to grow into this room. So, but the rats are where I'm going to grow this year. You know, I have to increase my rodent production.
Well, it's like you said earlier, like without the rats, how can you sustain the snakes? Like it's, you know what I mean? Like, and there's no purpose of even breeding rats if you're not going to keep up with the snakes. Like, you've got to be able to keep up with the snakes, right? So
yeah,
I think you know what you're doing. And like, what's crazy is, like, I'm telling you, man, like 19 clutches for year 2, bro. That's a you're in a good consistent place right there. You know what I mean? Like, even if you could hit 19 to 20 for the next couple years, like that's a lot. Because from what you're producing, that's where I'm getting at. Like, you know, you're making some fucking wild shit, and I can only imagine as the years go on, it's going to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah. 19. It was actually more than I thought I would probably do. I ultrasound, and I pretty much read everything that was ready to go. And, uh, I probably did a little more clutches than I thought I probably would this year, but I'm not complaining at all.
Hey,
But yeah,
better not be.
that amount of clutches is a good amount for me. 100 to 120 babies it's a lot of babies for somebody that has a full-time couple jobs and breeds their own rodents. And I've got a lot going on other than snakes too, and family, and I've got 2 kids, and I'm a pretty busy individual, so it's
Yeah,
definitely kept me on my toes. So
respect. Hell yeah.
mm,
All right, I have a wrap up question for you, dude. Okay, before
Yeah,
we
man.
get into the hot seat question. Okay.
what's up?
God damn it, I was gonna ask something right now. Oh my god, my mind went blank. I've been doing good all episode, and then my mind just
Hey,
goes
did
blank.
you see those hypo puzzles? Did you see the leopard hypo
Oh no,
puzzle?
on your account.
Yeah, I posted. I hit a hypo
Well,
puzzle
we can
and a
talk
leopard
about
hypo
puzzles
puzzle.
since we haven't even talked about your puzzle game. So yeah, let's pull up your puzzle game real quick.
I
Hold
did
on.
kind of like on those dark nights. I did the 2 animal shot with it.
Oh, come on, let's get these followers up. Come on, we got to get this guy to 1,000. Let's roll. He deserves way more. Let's roll. All right. Oh, here. Oh, whoa.
So I don't know.
Damn.
I know one other person that's made the leopard hypo puzzle. There may be more. I mean, hell, I'm not 100% certain, but that one at the bottom is a leopard hypo puzzle. I was pretty stoked to hit that one.
That
And then
is
the
sick.
upper, they were pretty cool. They look completely different outside. I posted the indoor pictures of in the snake room, but outdoors they look completely different.
Is this pre first shed?
Yeah, that's right out of the egg.
Oh wow. Okay, this thing's gonna be badass.
Yeah,
Can't
those
wait.
are pretty cool.
No,
Those
okay. Go ahead.
those were pretty cool. I had 2 double hit hypo puzzle females and a leopard hypo hit puzzle male that I paired those 2 to make those animals. So only one of the double hit hypo puzzles went, but yeah, that one at the bottom was pretty slick.
Very player, bro. That's sick. What's your game plan with puzzle? What would you like to take this where would you like to take this into next? You feel like?
I want to see combo DG hypo puzzles. And I really want to see Sunset into it. A lot of my recessive genes are Sunset, Puzzle, Clown, Hypo, and Desert Ghost. Those are the 5 kind of common ones I'm working with, and I want to mix and match the combo of those triples, quads, all that. So with codoms, so that's the direction I want to go.
So sick. All right, I remember my wrap-up question. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, if it's one thing, all respect to the ball python game, man, because it definitely takes a real player to really get this shit down when it comes to patience, knowing how to put yourself out there. There's a list of things, right? But there's also one bridge you could really run into the ball python game, and that's getting certain genes that are real similar to each other but aren't the same. You know what I mean? Like one of the more famous ones is Monarch and Ultra Mill. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's another one? Confusion and Hurricane, is it?
Confusion and Acid.
Acid.
Yeah.
Confusion and Acid.
Yeah.
Is it Hurricane
Trick?
Hurricane
Trick.
and Trick. Right?
Yep.
There's a lot of them, and it's kind of like what
There's
the
a
fuck?
lot of them.
Right. So how did you deal with something like that? Like, how are you determining what project to go into? Like, and because you just you're at a fork in the road. So how did you work that out for yourself with any projects that you're working with now?
Like the genes that are very similar and whatnot. Well, for me, I just decided to work with the ones that were available and what I like. I don't have acid, I have confusion. And the allelic genes, I like to combine them, like chocolate spot nose, making the Dark Knight into the clown. I haven't posted it yet, but I hit a red stripe cypress yellow belly hit clown. I'll post it tomorrow probably. And so any genes that have a weird connection together, like Red Stripe and Cypress make something that you wouldn't expect a Red Stripe and Cypress to make. And I'll post it tomorrow so everybody can see it. But of course, people have made it before. Justin's made a video on Red Stripe Cypress and proved actually that they weren't allelic. So you can make a Red Stripe Cypress from a Red Stripe Cypress. But just anything that's a weird combo when you mix them together is interesting to me. But I like the allelic genes. I've got some highway stuff that put a super gravel to it, make super gravels or other highways. Any of that stuff is pretty cool to me.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah. I've got a clutch from a OD banana highway to a super gravel, so I hope to make some kind of cool looking maybe highways or super gravels. OD. I got a clutch coming here real soon, and I'm also working the Zuwadi gene. Matt and I have a joint venture from a Zuwadi Mojave Fire to a GHI Ivory. So we're trying to kind of prove that Zuwadi gene in the yellow belly complex, and we ought to make some cool.
Happens.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like the Zuwadi gene.
Stuff. Yeah, I have a Zuwadi possible vanilla from Matt Byram, a female that I'm raising up.
Yeah. I like to hear that people have the Zuwadi gene. He's kind of passed it along to other people to let other people try and play with it because he wasn't doing a whole lot with it, and he wanted it to really further along. So he's kind of passed it along to Miguel, you, me. I think he sent some to. I think Nick has some.
Has he put anything in Zuwadi in clown yet? Is there any Zuwadi clowns out there yet, or no?
So I've got a Zuwadi het clown male that should go next year. So he has made the het, but he hasn't made the visual. No one's made the visual yet.
Oh, we're almost there.
Yep. Yeah, next year it should happen.
Oh my God, this is exciting. Fuck, Dave. What an amazing 2-hour episode, man. You straight killed that shit. It seemed like you've been doing podcasts your whole life.
No, first one, brother. I did a Patreon with Will Royal Canadian one time, but that was it. First time, man.
Well, yeah, if I were to go on his Patreon, I feel like I could do anything after that. That must have been the big stage right there. Fuck.
I was early on with him,
That's the man right there, bro. But listen, before you dip out, I got to hit you with the hot seat questions, okay? So
let's do it.
Ready for the hot seat question?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to bust a JP for me, okay? I just need you to just spit these out as quick as you can.
I don't know what that means, JP.
All right, cool.
You're talking about just what's his name?
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. I haven't seen that dude in a long time.
He was actually here earlier. He was like, holy shit, Dave Levine. I haven't seen him in so long. And then he said something smart ass about me. But yeah, he was actually here earlier. Bro, you had a bunch of heavy hitters tapping in tonight. Very, very respect.
That's my boys. That's my boys, man.
All right, here we go. We have hot seat questions for Dave Levine. Natural State Exotics coming in hot. You ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Frozen Thought or live?
Live.
8 cut or no cut?
8 cut.
Day 52 or day 55?
For cut, I cut at 56 typically, but hopefully they fit at 55.
Okay, so 55-ish, 56 choice.
Yeah.
All right. Sports or no sports?
Sports.
Baseball or football?
Football.
Favorite football team?
Dallas Cowboys. That's where I grew up.
Favorite? Oh my God. Favorite
man, don't hate.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Favorite quarterback?
Troy Aikman.
Respect. Troy Aikman is player. Oh, I mean, that was
that
was my Madden go-to. I'm not gonna lie. I picked back in the '90s and shit. Dallas Cowboys was my team. I picked all the time for any video game.
They were tight as hell.
Yeah. Big flexor or no flexor?
Probably no flex for me, man. I mean,
you're a chill flexor.
Chill flexor.
You're a chill flexor.
I'm with that. Yeah.
You're flex, but you're just chilling doing it. You don't even realize you're flexing. You're just, you're Dave Levine.
I like to show some cool shit sometimes.
Yeah. There you go. Steak or fish?
I would say steak just because I don't get fish a lot, but I'll eat fish anytime. I love mahi and sushi.
All right. Red wine or white wine?
I don't know. No wine.
No wine. Okay.
No, wine gives me a headache.
Okay, I respect. I can't drink white wine. White wine will make me sick as fuck. But I
Got it.
could drink some good red wine for sure. That's Italian
There
in
you
me.
go. Yeah,
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen,
Nice. Slipknot or Machine Gun Kelly?
Slipknot. I've seen
Thank
him in
you.
concert.
Yes. Fuck yeah. That's
You
what
know, I've seen him actually twice. I've seen him at Ozfest 2000 in Dallas, and man, they're just cool as hell. Playing on the trash cans and like, yeah, I love Slipknot.
Who's your favorite Slipknot member, if you have one?
You know, I couldn't tell you, brother. I couldn't tell you. I love them all. It's a badass
State
band.
48 Exotics.
Look at that, State 48.
Well, what do you have
Joel,
to say about that?
I hope he's feeling better.
Yeah. I hope you're feeling better, dude. Joe, we were just all talking about us earlier, and I'm glad you're here now.
I bet he's feeling good.
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
West Coast rap.
All right, cool. Little word association. First thing to come to mind: milk,
Cookies.
cocoa,
Rep the chip.
stuck shed,
Pain in the ass.
substrate,
Rep the chip.
hatchling substrate,
Paper towel.
Instagram trolls.
Fuck them.
One has to go forever, and I mean forever, ever, ever. Is it going to be Instagram or Facebook?
I'm sure this is a pretty common answer. Facebook.
Fuck Facebook and their stupid asses. Yes.
Yeah, IG. I do Facebook too, but IG all the way.
Shouts on my OGs in Facebook who I constantly hit up almost every day. I do respect you guys. I do respect people a part of Facebook, but Facebook as a whole or whatever, as the app, fuck you. But I do got to say, Dave, this was an amazing episode, as I knew it would be. My man gave us 2 hours of straight heat. I cannot wait to link up with you next week. You have no idea the energy inside of me. It's just wants to fucking jump out, man. But listen, before I do all that, before I get ahead of myself, you got a bunch of fucking supporters here, man. And I don't want to have to be a broken record, but Justin Cabelka, Always Evolving Pythons. You had RCR. You had 514. You have Joel. The list goes on, man. What do you have to say to all your supporters out there? Everyone who fucks with you.
Man, I appreciate everybody. That it's humbling to me that people even give a shit about what I'm doing, and I hope I don't disappoint. And I hope to keep.
Wow, normally that's me. I'm gonna let the guy come back. He's such a nice guy. Should probably take some tips from him, huh? Yeah, I'm good. I am so fucking hungry, man. Should I do In-N-Out? Because now I could taste. Now that I could taste, oh my God, I'm going full heifer after this. Like, I'm really treating myself. But I need you. Okay, what should I do, guys, in the comments? Should I do In-N-Out, right? Triple, animal style with a shake? Or should I do a California burrito with strictly beans on the side and like a fish taco? I don't know. Should I go Mexican or should I go American? Got to figure this out because now I'm starving. I'm sweating because how hungry I am. Dave, I hope you're coming back, bro. Nobody ever just like dips out without saying goodbye to all their supporters. Oh man, looking like a burrito. Look at Matt Summers with the In-N-Out. Matthew Summers with the In-N-Out. I don't know, Matt. Animal style does sound good though, man. You cannot go wrong. Hey, what would I would do? What I would do for some Whataburger right now, Matt? What with some Whataburger? Do you miss Whataburger? I know I miss some Whataburger. All right. Well, listen, I guess Dave is tapping out for the rest of the night, but I'm pretty sure he was going to say that he fucks with all his followers. Super tough. The guy's humble as fuck. And I'm glad you guys got to meet him, man. And if you guys haven't already, please, real quick, before we sign off tonight, please go give my man a follow. He deserves at least 1,000 followers for sure, 110%. So why don't we go over to Instagram right now on our phones and go to Natural State Exotics and click the follow button for our man, David Levine, who is seriously working with some next level high-end ball python projects. And yeah, God damn it, Dave. Way to leave in style. You know, the guy's players, fuck, we got to admit, he just left in a hell rude fashion right now. I'm just kidding. I will see you guys next week at Tinley. Guys, I don't think you guys understand the episode I have in store that's going down next Friday. I'm keeping it a secret for now, but come Monday next week, I'm announcing it on who it's going to be. But if you could really put your mind together on who you think I'm going to interview in person, in Chi-Town, in their own hometown, who the fuck do you think I'm about to link up with? It's going to be heavy, and it's going to be a round 2. And I know you guys don't want to miss this. I'm telling you right now. So again, be ready for Tinley if you're going next week. I cannot wait to fucking link up with all you guys who are going. Please be safe. You know, I don't want to be that guy to say wear a mask, but I just got done fucking with COVID, which was terrible. So if you are feeling sick or whatever, just put a mask on, you know, like do your fucking due diligence of being safe, because having this shit sucks. And it just, you know, you got other people going through it harder than others and whatnot. And I'm just saying, please be safe. God bless all you guys. And thank you for tapping into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Shout out to all the big dogs, medium dogs, little dogs, the Bob Smiths with the little tiny weenies. Thank you for all tapping in, because at the end of the day, man, I do this shit for you guys. And I will keep doing this shit because this shit ain't never going to stop. And Dave Levine, seriously, thanks for not coming back to the show. I'm going to go get a burrito. I'm out.